The grape in Roblox Grow Garden is already pretty good, but it's actually better than a lot of people probably think. If you get rainbow on this thing, plus every single mutation on it like I did in this video, this thing can be worth an amount of money that you would not expect and make you super rich in Grow a Garden. So make sure to watch until the end of this video to see the rainbow grape in action with all these mutations and see how much money it actually makes me. So I am going to go ahead and just place my grape right here, and then over here you can actually see we did AFK to get the Dawnbound mutation, and with that we did get Cosmic, Tempestuous, and Sandy, so we can actually skip out today on using the Pterodactyl and the Jackalopes. I'll save us just a little bit of time later, but there we go, our grape is growing in. And then with that, we already do have some sugar apples, but I am going to go ahead and plant just a couple more here to help us get the warp mutation done. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our apple gazelle, and we're also gonna just go ahead and get our mandrakes ready here as well, and then we're going to hit the grow all button on my main account, and there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and grab these sugar apples to get the warp mutation done. Our apple gazelle is still boosted, so we have some time here, and there we go. We got with the warp mutation applied to a sugar apple. Which one is it on? Okay, it's back there. So warped is done. We can go ahead now and reclaim these 3 sugar apple trees. Just get these ones out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and plant down some mandrake seeds here, and I'm going to spawn in an advanced sprinkler right over these, and then we're just going to use our watering can to grow these quickly, and then we're going to try to get the rot mutation done real quick here. Oh, and there we go. We got it twice. 3 times. We don't need it that many times, but yeah, we had some pretty good luck there. So we have it on 2 sugar apples over there, so we're pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these guys, and now it's time to get our grape to grow in massive. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is spawn in our mooncats here. Let's get 7 mooncats, and okay, that's 8. Let's go ahead and get a triceratops in, so it can help with speeding up the growth a little bit, and then we're going to get our sprinklers down, so let's do that. So let's get our Grandmaster sprinkler down, Master, Godly, Advanced, and our basic sprinkler, and then we're also going to spawn in our berry blusher sprinkler, as that helps with grapes and similar berry plants. So with all these sprinklers down and our mooncats, we should be able to get a pretty big grape to grow in, and then we'll get started with getting all the mutations on that grape. Let's go ahead and let our mooncats do their thing, and hopefully we can get a big huge grape to grow in. I don't know how long. I think the grapes do take a little bit longer than other fruits to grow in, especially if we get a big one. It'll probably take a couple of minutes here. So we have a couple, not any really piled up together. I am going to go ahead and throw this one in this mix of 2, so that'll at least give us a small boost for our grape initially, and then we'll just keep doing this as the mooncats keep sleeping and until we get our triceratops to smack our grape and get it to grow in. So we're just going to do this for a second until we get a big grape. Hopefully we get a pretty big one. I don't really know the biggest grape you can get, but hopefully we get a decent size. And I'm going to actually clear my inventory while we wait and get some more carrots just so we have some more for mutations. All right, I feel like we're going to get a pretty big grape. Like, there's no way we don't get a huge grape on this thing. We just got to wait for it to at least show the initial growth before we hit grow all. But I'm hoping our triceratops just hovers it and only will hit this and not our sugar apples, so we can get these to spawn in and be nice and tender and juicy and stuff like that, I guess. All right, let's see how much our triceratops boosts this. Oh, he doesn't want grapes. He wants apples. Okay, that doesn't really help us. Thank you so much for the... Yeah, good job, buddy. You're doing great over there, man. All right, well, since he decided not to hit our grapes, I am going to wait just a little bit and wait for us to get a little bit of a growth, and then I'm going to hit grow all, and hopefully we get a big grape. So I'll be back in just a minute just to save some time here. All right, so I know this looks pathetic, right? But I think this is like the beanstalk where it visually doesn't get that big because I have stacked sprinklers on this for minutes on end. I have spawned mooncats. I even got my echo frog for my main account, and I just cannot get one that looks big. However, if you look at my inventory here, I do have a couple that I picked up. And for example, if we actually show this one that is 14 kilograms here, and then we compare it to this one that is 23. I mean, this one's a little bit taller, but this one's like a little bit wider. So like, it's really hard to tell like what the sizes are, but like this one's 13 and then this one's 12 and this one's like way bigger. So yeah, I think the sizing for the grapes is just really hard to tell. Oh, and then also we have this gold one at 37, which is even smaller than that one that was at 13. So yeah, I think these just visually don't get that big. So I assume this is actually probably one of our biggest ones weight-wise. And I think this one will be a good one to go with. It doesn't look good, but it's going to be amazing, okay? I promise. Since we got that done, let's go ahead and finally get started with these mutations here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the chocolate mutation. Windstruck, we'll throw a pollinated spray on there. And then that is 4 mutations, or that's only 3. I can't count. All right, well, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go to my main account here. We're going to apply some sprays from over here. So on this account, we'll go ahead and apply a Cloud Touch spray, and then we will also apply Glimmering spray, I guess, just since we can buy those and those are easy to get. All right, and with that, now we have 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbows. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in our queen bee, and we're going to spawn in our butterfly here. Queen bee will cool down the butterfly because it has an insanely long cooldown, and then this guy will convert to a rainbow grape, and then we can get started with actually getting mutations. However, we're going to also go ahead and spawn in our golden goose today to get this guy started to lay us a fortune egg, which will save us some time. And then we're also going to go ahead and start spawning in some carrot seeds, and we're going to spawn in some of our pets that are guaranteed mutations since they go pretty quick. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in our lemon lion to get our lemon lion out of the way, since this guy will give us brain rot in about 5 minutes. We're going to spawn in our swan to give us graceful in about 5 minutes. We can do the same for our cockatrice here, and we'll also go ahead and get our badger out of the way today, or like right now. So we get the crack mutation done in about 2 minutes or under 2 minutes, and I guess we get one more guaranteed pet mutation done. So let's see what else we got in here. We don't need our jackalopes or our pterodactyls today because we do have Sandy and Tempestuous over here in these carrots. We'll save time, not worry about those guys today. But what else can we use? I guess the phoenix we can go ahead and get started as well. So the phoenix is also a pretty short cooldown, about 7 minutes. So that way we can get most of these guaranteed mutations done and out of the way, and then we'll get rainbow applied to our grape and be good to go. All right, our badger is applying the cracked mutation to a ton of sugar apples and carrots, so we are good with our badger. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up to get him out of the way. So we can pick up these cracked carrots because we actually have a ton of them over there on our sugar apples, so we don't need all of these. We also did get chakra applied from our main account, by the way, when I was waiting to get this grape grown. So that is over there and applied already, which is good. All right, so our badger's out of the way. We can actually probably, actually our swan's already boosted and our lemon lion can't really be boosted. So yeah, we're gonna get brain rot and a graceful done now. I guess we'll boost our phoenix to get this done a little bit faster, and then we can boost our cockatrice to get that done a little bit faster as well. Since we have that extra pet slot, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our grizzly bears so we can try to get the fall mutation done. I'm gonna also boost the grizzly bear since he doesn't have the best mutation chance. All right, so I'm gonna reboost the swan so we get graceful done, and then our lemon lion is going to give us brain rot. There we go, we got graceful applied to a carrot, and we got brain rot applied to a carrot. So we can move these over to our platter for the spinos, and we go ahead and pick up the lemon lion, pick up the swan. That's another 2 free slots we have now. Next will be the phoenix and the cockatrice, so we'll get those guys done. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another grizzly bear for us, and we'll also spawn in our first kappa here to work on getting bloodlet done. So yeah, we have 2 grizzly bears, so we can hopefully get the fall mutation done. Kappa to get bloodlet, that shouldn't take too long, just a couple cycles through that. All right, so next up we have our cockatrice, who's going to give us toxic in about 1.5 minutes, and our phoenix is going to give us flaming in about 40 seconds here, and then hopefully we can also get fall done, and then we'll have a couple mutations out of the way, and our golden goose will be laying an egg soon. And then with that, I'm going to boost our queen bee in just a minute here so we can get the butterfly to convert that to rainbow. We do have our fruits over here favorited with more than 5 mutations. I'm going to go ahead and just double check because I think there might be some new ones from getting these mutations that might have 5. Just, I don't know if the butterfly to target anything besides the grape, but okay, looks like we're fine. All right, we're good. All right, there we go. We have flaming added onto that carrot and a couple of the sugar apples. I'm gonna actually pick up the sugar apples with flaming on them because we don't need so many. I'm gonna pick up these carrots as well. And there we go. We do have flaming added though over here to this carrot. So that mutation is done thanks to our phoenix. And our grizzly bears are trying to apply fall, but they're going to probably fail a couple times, so we'll have to wait a while. But Phoenix is done, and since we got that done, I'm going to go ahead and actually spawn in another Kappa so we can get Bloodlet done a little bit faster. Should be able to apply it to one of these carrots. I'm also going to spawn some carrots over here, so in case they do walk over here and apply wet, they'll get Bloodlet to at least something. Bloodlet should be pretty much guaranteed now, and hopefully we get fall done. But there we go. Our cockatrice is shooting out its toxic to carrots and stuff. There we go. Toxic is done. I'm going to move this toxic carrot over here into the mix. All right, so I can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice. Hopefully we can get fall done with this grizzly bear maybe. Oh, I got to reboost him. Fall mutation, please. Please. Failed. Okay, that's gonna probably take a while. That's fine. I'm gonna also boost our Kappas here just to get them done. But that means when these guys are done and we do have rainbow, we can spawn these 3 in, and then we can also start spawning in our chicken zombies and our disco bees to get those mutations completed. All right, so I'm gonna wait a minute here to get our fortune egg, and then we'll, I guess, just wait around to get fall, since I'll probably take a while, and wait around to get bloodlet as well. And I think our queen bee now can be boosted without it being above 5 minutes. Should be good. Yep, there we go. So we have about 4 minutes left, and we'll get rainbow done as well. So that's good. Let's just wait for that fortune egg real quick. All right, fortune egg is being laid. Oh, he's gonna do it right here. Perfect. I don't even have to move it. Thank you for the fortune egg. Perfect placement. Go ahead and pick up our golden goose now. We're gonna get fall done. No, okay, that's gonna probably take a while, so I'm just not even gonna worry about that. And all right, so I'll be right back for a couple more minutes. Let's wait to get Rainbow, and then we'll get some more of our pets done. Oh, perfect. Our grizzly bear actually just applied the fall mutation to a sugar apple over here. I barely just missed it, but it's on one of these sugar apples somewhere. And then we got wet started, so we should be able to get bloodlet next. Oh, here it is back here. All right, so fall mutation is done. Just want to make sure. So we go ahead and pick up these grizzly bears and get them out of the way. And then this next kappa should give us bloodlet pretty easy. And then we have about a minute and a half left to get Rainbow. Also, I almost forgot, we did not spawn in our Raiju yet. We need to get the Raiju going so we can get the shocked mutation applied to some carrots or just anything. So Raiju is spawned in. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the shocked spray to one of my carrots so we can get static done. And there we go. So he'll eat this shocked carrot in just a second and apply the static mutation to some of our plants, and that will be another mutation done. But yeah, I almost forgot about our Raiju. That would have been sad, dude. He needs to have his moment. Just have his moment to shine. So our queen bee is now going to cool down our butterfly. Butterfly's cooled down. Butterfly is going to go for our grape since all these are favorited. And our grape is now going to become a rainbow grape. Perfect. And there we go. We have a rainbow grape ready. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee. Our butterfly and our kappas just gave us bloodlets. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the kappas. We're going to move this bloodlet carrot over here. We can go ahead and unfavorite these fruits so we can get ready for our spinos shortly to move all these over. And there we go. We have a pretty good setup. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these wet carrots just to get them out of the way so we have less mutations to worry about for our spinos. All right. So our kappas are done. We only are down to our Raiju now, but let's go ahead and get some of our other guaranteed pet mutations ready. Oh, actually, before we do that, what am I saying, dude? We got to get our sprays done. So let's go ahead and add the pollinated spray back onto our grape. Let's go ahead and add the chocolate spray back onto there as well. So we got rainbow, chocolate, wet, and pollinated. We're gonna go ahead and add some for my main account as well. So let's go ahead and add shocked back onto that. Cloud touched, verdant, glimmering, and luminous. There we go. So this thing now from sprays has about 9 mutations, and we're about to get the rest from our pets. All right, so now that that's all good, we can go ahead and favorite this just so we don't accidentally pick it up. We do also have a bloodlet grape in there, but we have that carrot over there, so I'm gonna pick that grape up. All right, but yeah, this guy is good. Let's, keep him favorited. We don't want our Raiju to eat him as well. And so with that, I'm actually gonna go ahead and favorite this carrot because that has shocked on it. I don't want him to eat that carrot. All right, that should be good. Nothing else is shocked. All right, perfect. So our Raiju will feast in just a minute here. I'm going to boost him so we get that done. He'll feast on this carrot, give us static. And then with that, we can go ahead and spawn in our peach wasp to work on plasma, since that takes about 20 minutes. Our corrupt kitsune, so that takes about 16 minutes to get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra. We're going to get our spriggan in here. That also takes a while to get bloom. And then we can get, I think we might be able to actually start on our disco bees since we got a lot of our other pets done here. Let me just check. All right, so I was just making sure that I didn't miss anything. And I think I'm good. So I think we can go ahead and actually spawn in our disco bees, and then after we'll do our chicken zombies and the gnome, and then we'll be ready for our AFK setup. So this should be good here. I guess after our Raiju is done, I'll just throw in our gnome into the mix, and then we'll be good. And then we can finish these up and then be ready for our AFK setup. Yeah, that actually saved a lot of time getting the guaranteed pets done while we waited for Rainbow. All right, so we should be good with our Raiju only targeting this carrot. Everything else that has shocked on it is favorited. Yeah, okay, good job, buddy. Don't eat anything else, only that one. All right, so we got static on some sugar apples and some carrots, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the carrots and start on the sugar apples. And our Raiju is good, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up and replace him with our gnome, actually, so we can get gnome done. And then I'm just gonna make sure I pick up everything else with shocked, or I mean static, just so it's less. All right, I think we're fine. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite these again, and we're good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and BRB for just a couple minutes here while we wait for these cooldowns to finish up, and then I'll come back and see if we get any of these mutations done. So be right back for a minute. All right, some of our pets are almost done with their cooldown, so I'm gonna boost them and see what we can get. Let's boost a disco bee. Get disco, maybe. Failed. All right, next disco bee. Failed. All right, I'm gonna just boost these two together. Failed. And all right, perfect. We got disco done on a sugar apple, so we can go ahead and pick up these guys now. Disco bees are done. I'm gonna boost the gnome to hopefully get gnome done. All right, that failed, but we should get it probably by the next time because we have so many gnomes now. I'll boost the spriggan to get bloom done in a second, the corrupt kitsune to get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra done, and then the peach wasp, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I boost that because he has a pretty long cooldown still. But since we got the chicken zombies done, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in. I mean, sorry, we got the disco bees done, not the chicken zombies. I'm stupid. But since we got disco done, done, I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting zombified now from the chicken zombies. So we're gonna spawn these guys in, and hopefully they'll be quick and easy to give us zombified. And then let's go ahead and wait this next minute to see if we get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra. All right, let's see what we get here. Maybe we'll get foxfire corrupt chakra today, maybe. All right, we got corrupt chakra on some carrots, and that's it. Only 2 carrots got it. All right, so I guess I'll just move this over here then and pick up the other one. That's fine. So we can go ahead and pick up our corrupt kitsune then, and I guess I'm going to replace him with a queen bee to help with our cooldowns for the chicken zombies since they take forever. So we have a little bit of a faster, or maybe like an extra chicken zombie chance pretty much, because once these finish, she'll cool down another one. She'll cool down another one of these chicken zombies, and then we'll have a better chance for that. All right, so our Spriggan is now going to give us the blue mutation. It's kind of far away from... Oh, there's some carrots and sugar apples. You should be fine. Yeah, plenty of space. All right, so we got some over here on these carrots, so we can go ahead and pick up the rest that he applied bloom to, and we're good. We're cleaned up here. All right, so yeah, bloom is done and out of the way. We can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan. Let's go ahead and boost that peach wasp to get plasma done in the next minute and a half. And while we wait for that, oh, he's actually stinging one of our pets, a zombie. Okay, that works. All right, so while we wait for that plasma mutation, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a mimic octopus to help us with more chance to get zombified. And then after that, hopefully we get gnome done before we get zombified, and then we should be perfectly ready for our AFK setup. All right, let's go and get plasma done. Okay, likes this carrot, it's just stuck on it. All right, cool. Thank you. I hope you're okay down there. All right, so I'm gonna throw this over here, and plasma is now done, so we can pick up our peach wasp, and I'm gonna spawn in another chicken zombie because I forgot I have 5 of them, and hopefully we get zombified done soon, and then we'll be ready to go for our AFK setup once we have that, and hopefully gnomed. All right, so we have acid rain going on right now, and a bunch of our carrots are getting the acidic mutation applied to them, so we will be able to get corrosive, which is good for extra multipliers. And also, our gnome is almost done with this cooldown with our chicken zombies here, so I'm really hoping that we can see zombified getting applied, and we can get gnome done, and then we can be ready to go for our AFK setup. So I guess we'll go ahead and see real quick what happens here. All right, hopefully we get gnomed, please. Please. All right, failed. So we're gonna have to wait around for gnomed a little bit longer, but that's fine, I guess. All right, let's see if we get zombified done, though. We have this guy with about 20 seconds left on the cooldown, and then these with 2 minutes. So I guess we'll just see real quick if we get this chicken zombie to apply zombified. Otherwise, we gotta wait like another minute and a half for the rest of them. All right, let's see. Zombified. All right, look at that. First one, we got zombified added to a carrot. Okay, well, that was easy. We got all this prep ready for our chicken zombies. Like, we got all these ready and boosted, and like, got it pretty quick. And here's another one that failed. All right, well, anyways, we can go ahead and pick up our mimic octopus, queen bee, all these chicken zombies here, get them all out of the way. Actually, we are pretty much ready for our AFK setup here. Our gnome has not given us gnomed yet, but we can go ahead and AFK with that one, and then just come back when we get some more mutations and replace some of our pets with spinos. So we have the gnome already in here to get gnome. Let's go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet to get the tranquil mutation, our corrupt scarlet to get the corrupt mutation, got the space scroll for void touched, junkbot for oil, aromatic spaghetti sloth for sauce, pasta, and meatball to get spaghetti, and we have the aromatic shard to get aromatic, of course, lobster for meteoric and molten, which will give us infernal and blazing, and our griffin to give us cyclonic, which could be maelstrom and storm charged. So there we go. We have our 8 AFK pets ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and AFK for a bit, see if we get any of them done. Once one gets done, we'll replace it with the spino, and then the more that get done, we'll replace those with some more spinosauruses, and then we'll be able to get everything moved over to our grapes. So I'm gonna just go ahead and make sure this is favorited still, which it is, and nothing else is favorited, so our spinos will be able to eat once we spawn them in, and we're good to go AFK now. All right, so we just got gnomed actually applied to a carrot before I went AFK, which means we can go ahead and move this gnomed carrot over here, and then we can go ahead and spawn in a mega spinosaurus and get mutations to start getting moved over to our grape, and I think we're good. All right, so I'm back from my first wave of AFKing, and we did get some mutations done while I was AFK. So we do have pasta on this grape here, and we do have molten done, so those 2 mutations are out of the way. We also have meatball done and cyclonic on 2 different carrots. We could try to get maelstrom and storm charged. We also did get corrupt done, and I gotta climb up to my sugar apples to see what else went on up here. More molten, more meatballs. But yeah, it looks like a lot of this stuff got moved over that we had up here, but I'll also have to check the actual plant to see what we got applied. Okay, we also have oil done. I feel like we got some decent ones done. There's probably more. Oh, and tranquil's done. All right, so there's probably more on the actual grape. We'll have to just look. But our griffin's done with cyclonic. Our spaghetti sloth maybe still needs to give us aromatic. I'll have to look at the grape. The junk bot is done. We got oil, and then we got tranquil, and we got corrupt. So it looks like we still have our lobster, spaghetti sloth, and space squirrel. So real quick, I am gonna just go ahead and take a look on here to see what's got moved over while I was gone. I can't really tell because these are in the way. There we go. Okay, so we do have aromatic done. It looks like we still need sauce. That's the only mutation we need from our spaghetti sloth. So we just need to get sauce. And I think we still need like the other ones. So we still need meteoric and stuff. So, okay. Yeah, so we made some decent progress. I thought we'd be a little bit further along, but at least we can get our spiners to start moving stuff over. So that is good enough for now. Let's go ahead and refavorite this grape. And yeah, we already got pasta moved over, and we can use this one for molten, and that should be good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and replace those pets that we picked up with some more spinos. Actually, let me go ahead and boost the space squirrel real quick to see if we get void touch. I didn't see it on anything, but let me see. Okay, well, now we literally have it on the grape, so that works. Void touch is done now. So now it looks like we just need to get sauce, which I guess I can boost the spaghetti sloth to see if we'll get it done, and then we just need to get meteoric done. And that seems to be the rest of them. I'll go ahead and boost these guys, see if we get it, but besides that, we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in then our other mega spinosaurus, regular spinosaurus, other regular spinosaurus, and I guess I'll do a mimic octopus in the mix as well, and we'll also get our queen bee. And with all that, we should have a really speedy process of getting the rest of our mutations moved over to our favorited grape, and then having a grape with every mutation in Grow Garden. All right, it has been a few hours, and we are back to our grape with all of these mutations on it. As you can see here, we have all of these mutations. We even got Maelstrom and Storm Charge today, so they didn't combine, which is actually nice for some extra multipliers. So in total, we have 36 mutations on our grape. However, if we separate Cosmic, we'd have about 37. Separate Spaghetti, 39. Abyssal, 40. Corrosive, 41. Harmonized Chakra, 42. Maelstrom would bring us to about 44, I want to say. Gloom, 45. Paradisal, 46. Storm Charge would be about 48. And Infernal would bring us to about 50 mutations on this grape. So this grape actually has about 50 mutations total on it. We got a lot on this thing with some really good multipliers on it. And we're going to go ahead and use our magnifying glass first to see the value. And then we're going to try to get amber on it with our raptors. So let's go ahead and check the value of our grape without further ado. In 3, 2, 1, boom. Our grape is worth 69 million, which isn't the best, but the grape really isn't one of the best seeds that you can get in the shop. However, we got this thing to almost 100 million, which is still pretty good. Oh wait, hold on. Am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. What am I saying? That's 69 billion. Why can't I count right now? Hold on. Okay, I'm actually tripping. I'm sorry. This thing is worth 69 billion, 69.1 billion actually. So that's 100 million mark. That's 69 billion. So we actually did get in the billion marks with this grape. Sorry.
I don't know what I'm saying.
But yeah, this thing is worth 69 billion, which is actually really good for a grape. And again, like I was saying, this isn't one of the best seeds that you can get. And the fact that we got this thing to be 69 billion is actually very, very good. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if we can get amber on it now with our raptors. Let's go ahead and spawn all these guys in. All right, there we go. And they all are about to end with their boost. So let's go ahead and pick this up quick.
Nope.
All right, we did not get amber though on it still, but I mean, this thing is pretty good. 69 billion for this grape. I mean, look how insane it looks. You can't even really see what's going on, but I guess you can tell it's a grape with the void touched effect flying around. That's close enough. But yeah, this grape is worth 69 billion with about like 50 mutations on it again. So pretty good overall. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant this thing down, and I'm actually just gonna get it to fully grow real quick. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently because everybody's been telling me, oh, Bandites, you gotta do it this way. You gotta do it this way. So I'm gonna be trying something a little bit different today. So we're gonna actually let this thing grow in fully, and once it's grown in, then we're gonna throw some sprinklers down and our mooncats to try and get this thing to get a big, giant, juicy tomato on it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting my mooncats out here so we can get this thing to grow a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get 7. Actually, we could probably just get 8 mooncats because this thing will grow pretty quick. And then sprinklers, let's go ahead and stack some sprinklers on this thing. So let's do a grandmaster, a master. There we go. I don't know why it's not working. Godly, pro, advanced, and basic. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and drag this back over here so the mooncats want the pancakes, and they all give me some big tomatoes maybe, right? Is this tomato okay? Oh, there we go. It's growing. It's growing a big tomato. All right, I'm going to actually pick these up because I think we can get bigger. And what we're going to do is let these mooncats sleep. Come on, guys. Go to bed. Go CP. Go CP mode. All right, I'm going to put it like right in here where there's all these mooncats right here and right here. This is good stuff. This one's reaching a lot of them, though. I guess I could use my Triceratops to try and help me out with this today. Maybe water it a little bit more, huh? Oh, that's our tomato. It's pretty big. With that, let's go ahead and get some sprays applied to this thing so we can get it ready to become rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pollinated on it. We'll do a chocolate on it, a shocked, honey glazed, and it has silver. That's technically a growth mutation and it won't actually count towards getting rainbow. So we need to get one more. I'll use my main account for the next one. I have a ton of windstruck sprays and I always use pterodactyls. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that from over there. And there we go. We should now have, yeah, there we go, windstruck. That is 5 mutations. So we can go ahead and pick up all these mooncats. And then we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our queen bee and we will spawn in our butterfly here. And then with that, we're also going to spawn in a golden goose because this guy I'm going to use to get an egg spawned in. So once this is done, we can move over fortune to it right away. That will save some time in the long run. And the butterfly's cooldown is so long that the queen bee will only target the butterfly. I mean, by the time the golden goose is done, the queen bee will be still cooling down. So we can get that golden egg in here and then we can get fortune moved over in just a little bit once that is ready. And then in the meantime, I'm going to come over here on my main account, follow main account. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a queen bee over here as well. And we're going to spawn in our kitsune over here. And that way we will get chakra applied to this tomato in just a second. And we'll get some mutations started on our tomato. So hopefully this goes well. Hopefully we get some good mutations and make some good money off this tomato. I don't know how much it's going to be. I'm curious to see. Yeah, we have a lot of mutations to go through. So let's get started. We'll be right back. We're going to wait for this to get rainbow. All right, so a little progress here, but our golden goose is now going to lay our fortune egg that we can go ahead and move fortune over from to our tomato. All right, so our golden goose is done with its egg laying job. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this golden egg over here. So hopefully my kitsune doesn't target it, but we will use a Spinosaurus in just a little bit to move that fortune over to our tomato, which will be nice. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. Queen bee is cooling down the butterfly, and the butterfly is now going to convert all of this to rainbow. So we get that 50 times multiplier on the tomato. There we go. Boom. It is now rainbow. So we can pick up our queen bee and our butterfly and start applying some mutations to this rainbow tomato. So let me go ahead and favorite it real quick so I don't accidentally pick it up. So now we can go ahead and go down some sprays here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the honey glaze spray to it. And I'm going to go ahead and apply fried, shocked, pollinated, and chocolate. And then on my main account, I'm going to apply some extra sprays from over there. And also our kitsune is on the way, so hopefully he targets this and not the golden egg behind me. Bro, he wants the egg. Why does this guy want the egg? All right, well, that's fine. Spinosaurus will move both mutations over to this in just a second. So anyways, on my main account though, I'm going to apply the bloom mutation spray, the verdant mutation spray, burnt, and also cloud touched. So now on this thing, we will have 10 mutations. And then once we get these two moved over, that'll be 12 mutations. So that is good to go. I'm going to go ahead then and I guess spawn in 2 Spinosauruses here so we can get fortune and chakra moved over. And with that, since these guys have to move that over, I might as well go ahead and spawn in a couple carrots here. And with that, I'm going to spawn in a pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done and out of the way. And I'm going to also spawn in my corrupt kitsune. So actually, you know what? I'm going to place these spinos in like 5 more minutes because I want the corrupt kitsune to apply its mutations and then have both of the spinos eat the fortune, the chakra, tempestuous, and corrupt chakra. So that way everything gets moved over. So we'll do all that. We'll worry about that in a second. But anyways, all right. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in our corrupted scarlet. Since corrupt takes forever to get, I'm going to spawn in our tranquil scarlet because tranquil takes forever to get. And then I'm also going to spawn in 2 lobsters since molten and meteoric take forever to get. And that'll help with those. And then again, we're going to respawn our spinos. So that will take up those last 2 slots. And then we'll get the pterodactyl to give us tempestuous. And we'll give the corrupt kitsune to give us corrupt chakra. And we'll just get that all moved over. This is structured a little bit differently than I normally do it. I usually do a couple different pets first, but this will save some time in the long run because we can get through more pets faster once we get all this out of the way. Once we can get this out of the way and the spinos out of the way, then we can spawn in all of our other pets and this whole process will just kind of go a lot faster, I think. I hope. It should. All right, so I think our corrupt kitsune is under the Spinosaurus timer now, so they should be good. I'm going to go ahead and spawn those guys back in then. All right, so our pterodactyl is pretty much done with this cooldown actually this time, so I'm going to go ahead and apply... Hey, buddy, stop moving. There you go. Give him a toy. He's going to do some stuff. And okay, we got Twisted and Windstruck on 2 carrots. So we have 2 of them with tempestuous. We only really need 1. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this one with Windstruck. And I'll pick up this one with tempestuous. There we go. So the other one has it directly on it. There we go. Yeah, this guy wind struck directly on it, but this will convert to tempestuous in just a second. So pterodactyl's job is done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a couple more carrots here for the corrupt kidzoon. All right, there we go. That should be enough. I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that one with tempestuous, so our Spinos can move that over in just a second. And oh, there's one with silver. Hold on, let me get rid of that. I don't want them to try to move that because that will just go to nothing since we already have rainbow. All right, there we go. So we're good there. We can go ahead and pick up pterodactyl, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in spaghetti sloth because this dude needs 4 mutations, and that should be good. And then our Spinos are looking good. They're almost done with their cooldowns, so at least getting closer. Our corrupt kidzoon's getting lower as well. I guess we can go ahead and boost our lobsters to try and get us molten done and out of the way. Hopefully they just don't add it to the tempestuous one, but okay. Anyways, that's a pretty good setup there. And yeah, we just gotta really wait for this corrupted kidzoon to be done with corrupt chakra, and then we gotta wait for these Spinos to move all that over in a second. So hopefully they hurry up. Hopefully things hurry up here. I'm gonna try to get wet on this from like a kappa and then use a jackalope to get that to clay, and then we'll get ceramic done, which I don't even really know if it'll matter if we have ceramic or not, because if we have ceramic, then we can't have fried and burnt, which are already applied. And if we have fried and burnt, then we can't have ceramic. So it's like we either get 2 mutations or 1. Either way, we're still getting some pretty good multipliers. Also, sorry about that. Excuse me. All right, let's see if we get molten. I just did some molten in my pants.
Boy, what the f—
Oh, molten to one of the carrots. Which one got it? Okay, it's this one over here. All right, so the Spinos usually eat like 4 mutations at once. So one should eat fortune, and then carrot number 1, carrot number 2, and the other one should just eat chakra, and all that will get moved over. But yes, we got molten done and out of the way. We just need to get meteoric, and then we can move these lobsters out of the way, which would be good. Corrupt kidzoon is almost done, so I'm gonna boost him. Same with these Spinos. Actually, I'm gonna wait like an extra minute just to make sure I don't waste a toy, because sometimes these guys only have like a 2-second timer difference. So let me just wait a second here. All right, I think we should be good now to at least boost the corrupt kidzoon. He should be good no matter what now for that. Yeah, there we go. So we'll get that in just 2 minutes. And then I guess these Spinos, they should be fine. Let me see. Yeah, 3 minutes. All right, so this should help. Let's go ahead and get these guys done. And we'll be back in 2 minutes when these things, all these pets are ready to do some justice for us or something like that. All right, it's about time for the magic to happen, okay? So corrupt kidzoon. Oh, first time I got the eclipsed event. I didn't know that's how it did. I was so confused. Anyways, corrupt kidzoon is going to shoot some stuff out. Let's see if we get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra. What are you gonna do, buddy? He's just shooting everything. He's shooting everything. Oh, we got it directly put onto the tomato. Good news for us. Wait, that is the wrong tomato. That is not good news for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually pick that one up. I thought it was the right tomato. Okay, we got eclipsed on one of these carrots. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and he got it on so many different things, dude. Look at all these eclipsed things, dude. I'm overstimulated. I'm overstimulated. I don't know. We don't have time. The Spinos are about to do their thing. All right, quickly. Do we get eclipsed on this directly? Yes, we did. Okay, so we can go ahead and pick up eclipsed of that, and then we can go ahead and pick up one of these corrupt chakras, and then we got tempestuous. All right, then we can pick up this eclipsed. All right, cool. Let's carefully pick up. I guess we'll keep that wet one. They can move that over. That's fine. All right, cool. We got wet, tempestuous, corrupt chakra, eclipsed, and molten. That's fine. And then this guy's eating some stuff. Oh, this one has harmonized chakra on it, actually, so he could just eat that and move that over. Cool. He's doing that. He's doing exactly that. All right, cool. Get that tempestuous. Eat that up. Yummy, yummy. Yes, yes. All right. Can we get that molten, though? All right, we got wet, harmonized chakra, tempestuous, and I guess corrupt chakra, even though we don't need that now. What is this guy doing? Wait, he's gonna eat one more? Eat that molten, please. Eat that molten, please. Eat that molten, please. I don't know. He didn't eat molten, but he did eat fortune and tempestuous again, I guess, and corrupt chakra. All right, so they did not move over molten, so that's kind of unfortunate, but we can leave that molten there, I guess, and they will move that over soon, so we'll leave that one there, and we're good. All right, well, we got a lot of stuff done, but I guess we'll leave them, so in the next roundabout, they will eat both mutations, and we can get that molten for sure added on. But in the meantime, we don't need this corrupt kidzoon anymore. He did his job at least, and we got a ton of mutations done and added onto this tomato, so it is looking pretty good here. All right, and I guess since we got wet done, we can go ahead and spawn in a jackalope to get the sandy mutation, so we can get that converted over to ceramic. So let's go ahead and get a jackalope in here. Can we get sandy done, please? Let's get that sandy done out of the way. Don't think about doing it on the carrot either, by the way. Just do it on the tomato, please. Okay, he failed. You know what? That's fine. He's also trying to apply it to this tiny little tomato on there that I can't even see, bro. Where even is that little thing? Hey, stop. You're being loud. What are you gonna give us first? All right, we got sauce on the tomato. I guess that makes the most sense. So good job with that. Can we get this jackalope sandy mutation done, please? And then maybe if we can get meteoric done, that'd be nice too. Let's check the timer on my phone. We have about 4 minutes left for the tranquil and the corrupt. So I'm gonna go ahead and boost these guys to hopefully get those two out of the way, maybe. Let's see. Oh. Okay, we got Sandy. Sandy's done, but Corrupt and Tranquil failed. But Sandy is done and applied to the tomato. Is it the right tomato? Of course it's not the right tomato. Why would he do it on the right one? But that's fine. We can use our Spinos to move that over, so that shouldn't be a big problem there. So we can go ahead and pick up the Jackalope. He's done with his job, and I guess we'll start out next with a Disco Bee. Oh, and we have a Heat Wave event. Good timing here, so now we can get Sun-Dried. I'll turn our Verdant in there to Paradisal, which is good. All right, we have Paradisal on our tomato now, and we also have Sun-Dried on this tomato, which we didn't really need, but that's fine. More work for the Spinosauruses, but we should in one round get this done, because they'll eat Eclipsed and maybe Sandy, and then they'll eat Molten, and then like Sun-Dried, and then they'll get all applied to this. So that should be fine, and we can get rid of these Spinos for a little bit. But yeah, we have Paradisal on there, which is good. So yeah, once Sandy gets moved over, they'll turn into clay, and that should instantly go to ceramic, but it will probably get rid of our burnt and our fried, but I guess that is okay. I guess. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Meteoric. I'm manifesting some meteoric mutation right now. Let's go. First try. Actually, that is never happened usually, but hey, that's good. And we got Paradise on this Smith, so it's gonna be a little bit harder for the Spinos, but they'll sort it out. But hey, we got Meteoric done. I'm happy with that. That will save us some time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another Disco Bee to try and get Disco done and out of the way, so we can not worry about that one anymore. Let's get the Junk Bot going, because oil takes a while. Oh, we need to get the Raiju done, actually. Maybe instead of the Junk Bot, since the Raiju's a pretty easy one to do, I'm gonna go ahead and get him done next then. All right, actually, let's just wait. Let's wait a second, because I want these Spinos to move over some mutations real quick. We really need to get that Meteoric, Sandy, and Molten moved over. I don't know if we're gonna get all those that lucky, but let's let them actually do another wave real quick, so I'll save some time in the long haul. And then we'll spawn on the Raiju once their cooldowns are a couple minutes less. All right, I think I'm ready to make some life decisions now, so here we go. Our Spinos have about 8 minutes left on their cooldown, so what that means is I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a toy, because now they'll have 4 minutes. And now, because they have less cooldown than the Raiju will have, I'm gonna spawn this guy in, and I'm gonna wait a second once these guys are done to put a carrot down for the Raiju to eat, and then he can apply static to our tomato. Our Disco Bee cooldown is also almost done, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him a boost here. Where's that? This one? That way we can try and get Disco done and out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and give a boost to our Spaghetti Sloth to get the next ingredient done, and also hopefully get Aromatic done and out of the way, since that one usually takes a while. And then both of our Scarlets here still have quite a while for their cooldown, so I'm gonna wait to give them any kind of boost. Come on, Spaghetti Sloth, give us that Aromatic. Let's get that done. Failed. Okay, that's not getting it done, but we still love you, I think. There's no way this Disco Bee fails. Am I right? Like, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna give us Disco, and it's gonna be directly on the tomato, so we have less to worry about with the Spinosauruses, and it's gonna be like a really good time. All right, come on. Disco. I thought we had something going on. I thought we felt each other there, but you know what? That's fine. Maybe Biscuit's got it under control this time around. I don't know. Maybe they just all hate me. Are you kidding me? You're coming for the carrot. What are you going for? Oh, yeah, he's applying mutation to this carrot. I don't know why he's over there doing it, but we did get meatballs. So honestly, if we get that moved over, that'd be great. But that's another roundabout. We got to go with these Spinosauruses. So, these guys just be applying all the mutations to not the main tomato, but that's fine. He's eating off this carrot, even though he's like way over there. Okay, we got Molten. That's what we needed. Perfect. All right, get Meteoric or Sandy. Okay, we got Meteoric. Perfect. That was a perfect run. Good job, Spino. All right, now, next guy. Hey, buddy, need you to focus here. You got to do Meatball, and you got to do Sandy. We don't want Eclipse, and we don't want Paradisal. We already have those. Okay, what are you eating? What do you got? Okay, Meatball. Good job, buddy. You can do this. You got to just do the Sandy. You just got to do the Sandy. Bro, you ruined it. I was getting so hyped up, and then you ruined it. Ooh, I would like to eat the Paradisal, even though you already would have that on your plant. I would like to eat the Paradisal, would we? I just realized I'm tripping, by the way. I probably should get rid of these Disco Bees. We got Disco. Sorry, I'm kind of dumb, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys up then, and we'll swap them with some new pets. But our Raiju here is about to do some cool stuff and eat this stupid bugged carrot, and then apply static to the tomatoes. All right, here comes Raiju. He's eating the bugged carrot. Let's see if it disappears, though. Okay, there we go. It's gone. And boom. Static applied to both tomatoes. So Raiju is done as well. Let's go ahead and pick him up. With that, let's go ahead and spawn in 2 chicken zombies now so we can get zombified done and out of the way. And then we can get the junk bot back in here officially to try and apply oil for us. This video is actually gone a lot faster than all the other ones, I think, because our pets have actually cooperated and we kind of had a faster process today on how we did all this. I think this is a better strategy so we're not waiting around wasting time. I'm hoping soon though that the devs add a way to get more pets, like active pets at a time, only because there's so many pets in this game now. So if you really want to stack mutations, there should be a way that you could upgrade your active pets to have a little bit more. Even if there was like only 10, that would really help me out. 8 pets is a lot, but it'd be nice to have a couple more since there's so many in this game now and there's so many different items and fruits and plants and blah 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 blah. So our spaghetti sauce is about to apply its next mutation. Hopefully it's pasta so we can get spaghetti done. Let's see if we get anything. Okay, we got pasta done. We didn't get tranquil. What about corrupt? Can we get corrupt done, please? Corrupt has failed as well. Very sad. But hey, man, we got pasta done. And also we technically now have clay on the tomatoes. So if he just, these spinos just move that over, then that wet will be gone. Or actually, it'll probably stay, and then we'll get ceramic done, and then we can get frozen applied. Now we just need aromatic from that guy, and we still need to get tranquil, and we still need to get corrupt from our scarlet. So I'm gonna go ahead and set another timer for them, and hopefully they will help us this next time actually get those mutations done. The next wave of magic is about to happen, and you're going to witness it here. Our Spinosaurus is about to eat some mutations, or a mutation off our tomato, and then the other one will do the same thing, and then hopefully they actually give us the ones we need. So the only one we don't need actually out of the stack here is static. So as long as you get clay, disco, and pasta, we're good. What you eat, buddy? Okay, he ate clay. Good. Now that should actually instantly make this turn into ceramic. Yeah, it's ceramic now. We have lost, fried, and burnt, but we have ceramic, which I believe is a better multiplier overall. Let me do some research on that while Junkbot does his thing. Oh, okay, he failed. You failed me. You failed me, Junkbot. I was doing research and you failed me while I was looking away. I'm very sad. Okay, so ceramic is a 30 times multiplier. What about fried and burnt? Yo, we got aromatic done directly on the tomato. Spaghetti Sloth, you're a good little guy, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up, and your job has been done. I'm gonna spawn in a mimic octopus. What's our next spina going to eat? Static, that's the one we didn't need, and then he just spit it right back out onto static. So you pretty much did nothing for us. I hope you're proud. Why do you do that? All right, yeah, so ceramic is better. So it's actually fine if we lose fried and burnt. Fried is 8 times, burnt is 4 times, and ceramic is 30 times. So 30 times compared to like 12 times. Yeah, much better. Anyways, yeah, our spaghetti sloth is done. We're pretty much just waiting now for the spinos to actually eat the right mutations and apply it so we can get spaghetti completed on the tomato and get disco. Okay, actually we got lucky there in the second chicken zombie just applied zombified directly to the tomato. So good for us, I guess. That is done. We have zombified now on the right one. Wow, these guys are coming in clutch. All right, so yeah, we just need corrupt, tranquil, and oil. All right, so I had my microphone muted as I recorded those last 2 clips, but we did get one of our Spinosauruses to actually move over Disco to our main tomato, so that is good to go. And then we had one of our Scarlets actually apply the Corrupt mutation, so now we need the Spinosauruses to move Corrupt and Pasta over to our main tomato, and then those will be done. But we still need to wait for Tranquil, and we also still need to wait for oil from our junk bot. Now, I'm gonna wait for these Spinos to do another roundabout here and try and get Corrupt and Pasta moved over. They've been moving over Static and like the wrong ones. So once they move over these 2, I will spawn in my Queen Bee to actually help the cooldowns for the Mimic Octopus, the Junk Bot, and then also this Tranquil Scarlet. So that way we can try and save some more time. I'm actually just going to go ahead and AFK. I'm also going to throw out some Raptors here so we can work on getting them leveled up so we can get better chances for Amber. And I'm going to go ahead and throw down a Queen Bee to help with some cooldowns, and that should be good. I would throw down 2 Queen Bees, but then they usually just cool down each other and it doesn't really help. So I'm just going to do 1, and that should be a decent setup. And I'm going to go ahead and AFK now. All right, so I AFK'd for about an hour in magic happened, dude, okay? On our tomato here, I actually checked, and we did get that nighttime event as I was expecting, so we did get moonlit officially added to our tomato. And with that, our bird finally applied tranquil. We finally had our Spinosauruses move over that pasta mutation, so we were able to get spaghetti completed. We are good. We have pretty much all of our mutations. The only thing we could really get at this point is Aurora, Bloodlit, and Celestial, but we did not get any Aurora events in the last couple hours recording this, so I don't know if we'll be getting any of those. Oh, and I guess Acidic. Yeah, Acidic would have been nice too, but Bloodlit we could get from the Kappas, but they just take forever. So anyways, we have our tomato here with 25 mutations, and we did have fried and burnt on it, which would have been 27 mutations, but those got taken away for ceramic. But if we split the mutations on this, tempestuous makes this 26 mutations, spaghetti makes this 28, paradisal makes this 29, frozen makes this up to 30, ceramic makes this pretty much up to like 32, and I guess technically even like 34 since we lost fried and burnt, and then harmonized chakra would be about 35. So this tomato has a lot of mutations on it. It's a pretty good size. I guess probably one of the best sizes you can get for a tomato. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't know how big of a tomato you can get, but this is one of the biggest tomatoes I have seen. Anyways, regardless, I think we have a pretty good tomato here with all the mutations. I'm going to go ahead and give some boost to my raptors to see if we'll get amber. So let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Okay, we did not get amber this time around, but that is fine. We did get eclipse, which is like a bonus that we got instead of amber, so that's pretty good. So without further ado, Steven, what would you value my tomato at with all these mutations on it? Okay, this is actually not bad. So yeah, 84 million is actually pretty good for this tomato. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this thing is not usually going to be worth that much. I mean, for almost 100 million, that's pretty good for a tomato. You would never really see a tomato with this many mutations and worth this much in this game. Usually, if you're gonna get this many mutations, you would do it on a better fruit and you'd make so much more money into the billions or trillions. But for this being just a little old tomato, 84 million is pretty good. And honestly, I expected less than that, so I'm happy with that value. Let me know what you guys think, though, down in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe for bonus points, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But anyways, with all that effort, hopefully this thing will grow in pretty good, and we'll get a really good taco fern to sprout. So let's go ahead and get started and get prepared to grow our taco fern. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 mooncats here. We're gonna spawn in our triceratops, and then we're gonna get our sprinklers ready. So we have a grandmaster sprinkler we're gonna use. We're gonna put that right there, and then we're gonna stack on top of that a master, a godly, advanced, and basic, and then we're gonna put the taco fern right inside of there. All of our cats are sleeping over here though. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna put the taco fern right in here, just so we can get multiple mooncats to grow on it, which I think right here is about 3 of them. All right, that should be good. Let's go ahead and move that back in here by the sprinklers, and that should give us hopefully a pretty big taco fern. I almost just died by lightning. It almost just striked me. All right, so this thing's only at 1%. I guess we can buy some watering cans to get this process sped up a little bit. Oh, wow, that actually made it jump up. I don't know why the watering cans, like, unstuck the progress. So now it's at 39%. Let's spam our watering cans on it some more. Let's see what that gets it to. All right, we're up to 54, 55%. Pretty good. Let's see what the Triceratops does. I don't know how big this thing's going to be. Oh, okay. Well, he just smacked it, and now it's at 99%. However, how did the tacos grow on this thing? All right. It's been smacked. I think that made good progress. I don't know. This still looks kind of small. All right. So our Triceratops just again hit our taco fern, but this looks pretty small. I'm not gonna lie. So what I think I'm gonna do real quick is let me get my main account over here. I'm gonna hit grow all, get these picked up, and then I'm gonna try to get bigger ones because I don't think these are going to be big enough. So let me grow all real quick. Let me pick that up. Let's try this again. So I'm gonna do another Grandmaster right here. We're gonna do another regular master, godly, advanced, and basic. I guess I'll trowel it real quick into these guys. Let their mooncat abilities make it hopefully get big. All right, then we're gonna move it back, and I'm just gonna wait a little bit and see what kind of size we get for the next one, and hopefully this next time around it's much bigger than that. This is not nearly as big as we can get this thing, I know it. So yeah, like, see, like, that's probably a little bit better, I think. All right, so this taco fern looks much better than this one. This one's like only like a 2-piece taco fern. This one has like multiple pieces, so I don't know if that really matters, but this one's still pretty big. So I think we're good here on the size. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these mooncats so they stop meowing in my ears, and then we're gonna go over to our sprays, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this windstruck because we have pterodactyls, so this will just be a free mutation to convert this thing to rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this windstruck on there. We're gonna apply this chocolate on there, shocked and pollinated, and then we have honey sprinkler, so I'll just use one of these honey glaze sprays, and then that should bring us to 5 mutations. It's technically gold does not count towards getting rainbow, so we have our other 5 mutations that will count now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our queen bee here to start her cooldown for our butterfly, and that way the queen bee has about 7 minutes less of a cooldown. She'll cool down, make our butterfly's cooldown go to 0, and then our butterfly will convert this taco fern to rainbow. And then in the meantime, over here on my main account, I'm also going to spawn a queen bee over there, and then also my kitsune pet. So that way the kitsune will steal this eventually and then apply Foxfire Chakra or normal chakra or even both. All right, well, anyways, I'll be right back. We're gonna wait till this thing gets rainbow. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. She is now giving her cooldown powers to the butterfly, and the butterfly is gonna take our mutations from this taco fern and convert it to rainbow. Because rainbow is such a better multiplier than gold, so this will give us some more money in the end. All right, so we're good here. These pets are good. We don't need them right now. And now that this thing is rainbow, we can go ahead and reapply all those sprays. So we're gonna go ahead and put our pollinated back onto there. We'll put our shocked back onto there. We also have a burnt spray, honey glazed. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. We have fried, and then we also have chocolate. So there we go. We have 9 mutations applied. We still have more. Hold on. So then over here, my main account, I'm going to apply the Cloud Touch spray, and then I'm also going to apply Verdant, and I'll also apply Wet. So now we already have all these mutations from just sprays, but the reason why we did Verdant is so we can get that converted to Paradisal as soon as there's a heat wave, so that'll save us some time. And then we also got Wet, so then we can use our Kappas to convert Wet into Bloodlet, so that'll save us some time there as well. Then next up, we have to just wait for our Kitsune to cool down, and then that will apply Chakra. So this brings us up to 10 mutations. Once the Kitsune comes over, we'll have 11, and now we can start working on some of our other mutations from our pets. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 Disco Bees so we can work on getting the Disco mutation applied. I'm gonna spawn in the Corrupted Kitsune so we can get Corrupt Chakra or Corrupt Foxfire Chakra. We'll also go ahead and place down 2 Kappas so we can get this thing to turn Bloodlet. All right, and then I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in 2 chicken zombies to attempt to get zombified. And then so we can get one of our pets done and out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my Raiju here. Or actually, before I spawn him in, I'm going to buy a carrot seed. I'm also gonna favorite this just so I don't accidentally touch that. We're going to plant the carrot seed. We're going to spray the shocked spray onto it. And then we're going to spawn in my Raiju. And my Raiju will eat the shocked carrot and then apply static to our taco fern. This will be our pet lineup for now. All right, some of our pet cooldowns are done here, so our Raiju is going to eat that shocked carrot back there now. Look at him charge it. All right, and now he's going to apply static. We got our Disco Bee doing something, and we got Disco done. That is 3 pets we can move out of the way, so our Disco Bees are done here, and our Raiju is also done. And now we do have Disco and static applied to our taco fern, which is awesome. So I think I'm going to next get out my Spaghetti Sloth, because this guy is pretty much guaranteed 3 mutations to get spaghetti. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn him in so we can get that done and out of the way. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in our Corrupted and Tranquil Scarlets because we do need to get Corrupt and Tranquil on our taco fern. So I'm gonna spawn these guys in because they have those mutations on them. And they do have like 25-minute cooldowns. So I'm really hoping that we can get these ones done and out of the way. All right, our chicken zombie just applied Zombified to our taco fern, so that is another pet done and out of the way. All right, so I guess the next pet we would spawn in is the Tanuki to try to get Moonlit, but I am wanting to try and get this thing Bloodlit first. The only thing is the Tanuki can't give us Moonlit, which is fine. However, the Kappas, they're trying to give us Bloodlit at the moment, which we need the Wet mutation for, and the Tanukis can possibly make this frozen, and if it's frozen, then we can no longer get Bloodlit. So we're gonna try and wait for the Kappas to do their thing, and I guess in the meantime, we will just go ahead and spawn in our pterodactyls here so we can try to get Tempestuous done and out of the way. All right, I'm going to experiment and see if I give our Corrupt Kitsune a medium and small pet toy, if it will increase our chances of getting Corrupt Foxfire Chakra. So let's go ahead and see. He's kind of moving. It's actually going to make the cooldown instant once I do the medium, but Try to be quick. All right, see? Okay, actually just did nothing, and it made his cooldown go, but the boost didn't help us even get the regular corrupt chakra. There we go. We got chakra applied to our taco fern. That looks kind of scary. All right, spaghetti sloth, what are you gonna give us first? It doesn't really matter because he's gonna give us everything over time anyways. He's gotta crawl his way all the way to the taco fern. Come on, you can make it. All right, meatball is number 1. So now we just need to wait for him to give us sauce and pasta. I guess to increase our chances, by the way, I do have 13 gourmet eggs, so I am gonna place these down so we can maybe get more spaghetti sloths. Oh, pterodactyl applied, windstruck, and first times the charm. We got tempestuous added to our taco fern, which is perfect. The rest of our pets here, we gotta wait for these kappas to give us bloodlet. Our spaghetti sloth is still being slow, of course, and then these guys need to give us corrupt and tranquil. All right, we have a sandstorm going on right now. I'm gonna try and move our taco fern over here to the corner and see if maybe for the first time in our lives we can get sandy on one of these things, dude. It's been a struggle to ever get sandy. I don't know if the Grandmaster Sprinkler would help at all for trying to get the sandy mutation. I think that's, again, just for, like, rainbow and gold. And it looked like it got sandy for a second, but it didn't. I thought I saw an effect down here that looked like it would be sandy, but no. Our luck is terrible. I'm gonna move this back over here and be sad now that we didn't get sandy. All right, so our sloth just applied pasta to our taco fern now. So now this thing has meatball and pasta. So now we just got to get him to apply sauce, and then we will have this thing turned to spaghetti. These kappas are still struggling, our corrupted kitsune is still struggling, and we're also still waiting for tranquil and corrupted to hopefully get applied from these 2 scarlets we have with those mutations on them. We're struggling a little bit on these mutations. I really hope that we can get some cool events to happen, like another sandstorm, so we can actually get sandy. Okay, well, with all of our efforts trying to get our taco fern to turn bloodlet from our kappas did not give us bloodlet. And then, of course, we get a frost weather event. So now we can't get bloodlet because we can't put wetback on it since this is already frozen. But I wish there was a better way to get bloodlet besides waiting for the event and this kappa. I guess we will spawn in then our tanukis to try and get us moonlit since our kappas failed us. All right, our spaghetti sloth just applied sauce to our taco fern, which means this thing is officially spaghettied. So now we have a spaghetti taco fern. So our spaghetti sloth has done his service. He is done here with his work today. We can go and pick him up. And now we just gotta wait for these tanukis to give us moonlit, and for this guy to give us corrupt, and for this guy to give us corrupt chakra. And hopefully while we wait for all this, we'll get some more events. There could possibly be a nighttime event in 3 minutes if it happens every 4 hours like it normally has. All right, I guess I got big brain power, and the only reason I know that night events happen every 4 hours is because there's a Grow Garden bot that tells you like when events and seeds and stuff are in the shop. So if you want to have access to that bot, you can join my Discord server, discord.com/invite/bandites, or just click the link in the description. That's much easier. And there's a Grow Garden channel, and you can get access to all the events and cool things. Anyways, that's how I know that usually night events happen every 4 hours, which now we have moonlit done, and we can get rid of these tanukis because they are good. They have done their job. Not really, they didn't do anything for us, but yeah. Anyways, we're gonna let our raptors level up a little bit here. I think I do have some treats for them. Yes, I do. So I'm gonna try to get these guys to level up a little bit faster, so that way we can have higher amber chances for them. All right, so I just got back after about an hour of AFKing. Let's see what has happened since we were gone. Let's go ahead and check our big taco fern here. So it looks like we did finally get corrupt added onto this thing after about an hour, so that's good. Did we get anything else to happen? It looks like we didn't get any sandy, any events. We just have moonlit. We didn't get celestial. We didn't get a heat wave. So wow, our luck was bad for events. And it also looks like we still have not gotten harmonized chakra. We still just have regular chakra. So our corrupted kitsune here is not doing very good for us, it looks like, but we can go ahead and pick up our other corrupt scarlet there. We can keep our mimic octopus and our corrupt kitsune. Okay, so our mimic octopus finally like mimicked our corrupt kitsune, even though our corrupt kitsune hasn't done anything for us. The mimic octopus actually clutched for us and got us that harmonized chakra done. So with that, we are done with all of our pet mutations. We are up to 19 mutations on our taco fern. However, if we do separate some of these, like tempestuous, we'd be up to 20. Spaghetti would be up to 22. And harmonized chakra would bring us up to 24. So we do have like 24 mutations on this. The only things we're missing is celestial, aurora, sandy, and a heat wave to actually get that verdant to become paradisal. And then I guess the other last thing that we're missing is amber. And those are pretty much all the legit mutations that we could get on this. And that wouldn't include any of the admin ones, of course, but those are the few of the legit ones that we're actually missing. But besides that, this thing is pretty much good. I think I'm going to try it to see what the value is of it. And we're going to use our raptors here to hopefully get amber. So hopefully this time we'll get amber applied so we can have an extra mutation done and added onto our taco fern. So without further ado, raptors, please help. All right, let's try this out. All right, we picked it up. Did we get amber on it? I can't tell. So yeah, I guess we didn't get amber. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just check the value of our taco fern here, and hopefully it's worth a lot. I mean, this thing I feel like could have been a little bit bigger, and maybe we could have got some of the other legit mutations and, you know, not including the admin ones to make this more. I feel like we might have gotten a pretty good one here, and it should be worth a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and check with our boy Steven here and see what this taco fern is worth. So Steven, what are we looking at today for the taco fern? Okay, so this thing is worth 46 billion. And again, it's not even that big of one. I definitely think we could have gotten a bigger one. It doesn't even look like a taco or anything at this point. The glimmering mutation, I can't think, but yeah, I did some trading and we got these two, and actually I traded and I got this age 52 one. I guess whoever had this was just spamming level up lollipops on it or something. So yeah, it's actually a pretty higher level one, so that should be good with the cooldown. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I do want to point out as well, as I was doing some of this event and playing around with it a little bit, we actually got a couple of our beanstalks here moonlit, and we did get some glimmering already, and we do have a chakra beanstalk for my main account because I was using both accounts to grind the event. Yeah, so we have a couple of the mutations already done and ready, and we can get those moved over with the Spino shortly. But in the meantime, let's go ahead, and I know you guys are going to probably tell me to use the green bean, but I'm going to actually be using the Mooncats again today with a Triceratops, because I think this combo just works a little bit better. The green bean takes 30 minutes, and last time I did it with the pepper, it was pretty pathetic, the growth that we got, so I'm not going to be doing that again, okay? But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and grow this wisp wing here, and this thing actually looks really cool when you grow it. So we're going to go ahead and grow the actual plant first, get this thing to 100%, and then we'll put some sprinklers down, let our mooncats do the thing, and get a very big wisp wing fruit. But yeah, again, this thing looks insane. You'll have to see it whenever we fully grow it, dude. You're gonna be like, whoa, that thing is really cool, especially if you haven't seen it yet. It's insane. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and water this thing. It's gonna need a lot of watering. I guess we can go ahead and get some advanced sprinklers on it just to help with the growth process. Yeah, this is like going nowhere in life right now. It's literally a 0% grown wisp wing, and I'm already using so many watering cans. Hold on, I know a magic trick I can do. Don't mind me. Alakazam. Wow. Wow, it grew in really quick. But look at this thing, dude. It looks insane. It's literally a plant that moves and has wings on it. That is crazy. That is crazy awesome. But anyways, now that we have this first one grown, I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. And we're going to actually put some sprinklers down now. You didn't see anything, by the way. That wasn't me who did that. I'm going to go ahead and put down a Grandmaster sprinkler, a Master. Let's go ahead and do a Godly. And we already have some advanced, but I will do an extra advanced in there. And I will put down a basic sprinkler as soon as I can find it in here. There it is. All right, there we go. So now we have all of our sprinklers set, and then once our mooncats start sleeping on this thing, it should get pretty big, I hope. And then our Triceratops will also help speed up the fruit growth process a little bit, and we should be good. All right, some of our mooncats are coming over here. Start sleeping, start sleeping. Come on, there we go. We got a pretty good stack right there. All right, put this right in there for a second. All right, there we go. That should help a little bit with the growth. This thing has an average value of about 180,000 shekels, so I think we could probably make a lot of money with this thing once we get all the mutations on it. So this is going to be a crazy one. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see if we get a big one now. Now, I know, again, like, people are like, oh, use the green bean. It's a 5 times bonus. And I guess if you mix that with the mooncats, it's pretty good. But otherwise, it's like the... Oh, it's starting to grow. But otherwise, why are you hitting my beanstalk, bro? That thing is already grown. Oh, he's hitting this now. All right, there we go. All right, well, that was a 33-minute and did nothing. I hope this is a big one. But anyways, yeah, the green bean's a good, like, 5 times multiplier, and if you mix it with the mooncats, it's good. But if you do get multiple mooncats to sleep on your plant, I mean, you do get 1.86 times, and you can easily pass up that 5 times multiplier that the green bean gives. But again, I know if you mix them all together, you can have some magic happen, and yeah, like, I'm sure it's better, okay? But it just takes a long time, and last time I did it, it kind of showed me that it hated me, and I didn't get anything good from it. So that's why I'm not doing it right now. All right, so here's our new Wisp wing. Where's the top of this thing, bro? Look at it. It's all the way up there. Look at it flapping its wings. It's beautiful. This is probably my favorite fruit in the game now, by far. Like, this thing looks insane. I'm so excited for this one. All right, but there's our beautiful Wisp wing. It is gigantic, and I think we have a pretty good size here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is pick up all these moon-cats now and our triceratops. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in our queen bee, and I'm gonna favorite this for a second just so I don't accidentally touch that. All right, let's go ahead and do our queen bee. Let's do our butterfly, and let's go ahead and get some mutations on it. So the silver mutation doesn't actually count because it's a growth mutation, so that won't actually help us get the rainbow mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down, and let's go ahead and do our sprays here. So I'll do a shock spray, chocolate spray, pollinated spray, and I guess I'll go ahead and just use that chilled spray. And there we go. We have 5 mutations now for our butterfly to convert this wisp wing to rainbow. And once it's rainbow, we can go ahead and get started and get this thing to look amazing and mutated. So, all right, I'm gonna leave it unfavorited. We're gonna sit right here by the sign so I don't accidentally pick it up. And in the meantime, I'm gonna gift myself, or actually, I can't gift myself sprays. I'm gonna go ahead and get some more shocked sprays onto my main account. Hold on, let me show you this real quick. I'm over on my main account, but you can actually, I didn't realize this, you can craft and buy the glimmering sprays in here if you want to save some time, which is nice. I thought you could only get it from the event, but I guess you can get it in here. All right, well, that might not be there forever, but you can take advantage of that for now. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and gift myself some more shock sprays or get them on my main account so we have more of that because we need those. We're almost out, which is crazy. Our brighter stack of shock sprays is about to run out, and there's no sign of the admin program coming back, or at least they don't like me because I haven't heard anything. All right, so it's time for the magic to happen. The queen bee is now going to cool down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to go ahead and convert all those mutations to rainbow on the wisp wing. And there we go. We are now done, and we have rainbow on our wisp wing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these guys here, and let's go ahead and favorite this so we don't accidentally pick it up. There we go. And then let's go ahead and get our sprays going. So we're gonna go ahead and put shock back onto this, pollinated, chocolate, and we'll do a honey glaze sprinkler so we can get honey glaze back onto here. And then on our main account over here, we're going to apply the cloud touch spray and the verdant spray. And then as you can see here, I actually spawned in our sugar apples already. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is use our apple gazelle here to attempt to get the warp mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him a boost, and let's go ahead and try and get the warp mutation on something. We're gonna carefully pick these up until we get it. Okay, we got the warp mutation on a sugar apple over here. Let's go ahead and travel this so we don't pick that up, and we're going to leave that over there. And then I guess we can go ahead and move these all to the corner. I'm going to keep these spawned in from now on because we always need to get that warp mutation now. So just like our beanstalk, I'm going to keep both of these spawned in, and if they get mutations on them, our Spinos will just move them over. So anyways, that's good. These are all done. I'm going to move those, and let's go ahead and pick up that apple gazelle. And then real quick, I'm going to go ahead... Excuse me, I'm dying.
Hey, yo, what the?
I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in these mandrakes here. We're gonna spawn in an advanced sprinkler, and we're gonna spawn in, or try to plant some mandrake seeds here and get the rot mutation done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple mandrake seeds and use my watering cans, and we're gonna do this until we get that rot mutation out of the way. And there we go. We got rot on a sugar apple and a beanstalk, so that's perfect. Now let's go ahead and do our guaranteed pets. So we're gonna go ahead and do our lemon lion here to get that brain rot mutation done. We're gonna do our peach wasp to get that plasma mutation done. Let's do the pterodactyl. Okay, every time I try to search pterodactyl, I get the corrupt kazoo, but we do need to get him done, so we'll do that. And then we'll do the pterodactyl. Hello, pterodactyl right here. And there we go. That's 4 guaranteed mutation pets spawned in. And then we're gonna go ahead and do some disco bees here. So let's do 4 disco bees to hopefully get that disco mutation done and out of the way. I wanted to point out too that I have this ascended mooncat now that I also traded for. I forgot to mention earlier in the video, but this guy can help us get the dawn-bound mutation applied. However, he does take like 5 to 6 hours. It could be less, but it's usually a very long time. So once we have some pets done and our Spinos are going, I'll probably try and spawn this guy in, and then we can try and AFK and get dawn-bound. But I am in kind of a rush today because I do head out tomorrow, so I have a lot to get done, and I have to send this over to my editor before, you know, I go to sleep and stuff. So I might not do dawnbound this video. If we don't get it in time, I might just skip it. But by the next videos, well, besides the ones when I'm on vacation, but whenever I get back, we'll try and get dawnbound on every fruit moving forward so we can get that extra multiplier bonus. Oh wait, you know what? We have some new pets, right? So maybe I should work on the cockatrice here to actually get that toxic mutation, because I believe he is guaranteed. So let's go and pick up this disco bee and place him down. Let's see. I think he's a guaranteed mutation. Yeah. So every 9 minutes he spits out 6 different fruits and apparently eggs and pets. Oh, okay. And eggs advance and pets gain XP, but the fruits get the toxic mutation. So he's a guarantee. So I'll get him done out of the way as well, because we got to get that done. But the disco bees, I think these 3 guys should be fine on their own. So we'll let them get us disco and we'll wait for all these other guys to give us their guaranteed mutations and then move on. All right. So our lemon lion is about to apply brain rot to something. So let's just get that done out of the way. There we go. We got brain rot on the sugar apple, so that's perfect. That's all we needed from him. So we're going to pick him up and we're going to go ahead and replace him with another disco bee just to up our chances to getting disco done and out of the way. That should be good. We're going to go ahead and BRB for another couple minutes. All right, so our cooldown timer actually bugged and got above the regular pterodactyl timer. So let's see if we get tempestuous. All right, we did get tempestuous to 2 sugar apples, so pterodactyl is done. Thank you for your service. And then our disco bees will be giving us hopefully disco the next minute, and our cockatrice should hopefully give us that toxic mutation. I do have to reboost him though, because his toy was way off of his cooldown. Let's go ahead and get that toxic mutation done and out of the way. I think this was supposed to be a mutation in the game forever ago, and then it just never got added until now. But there we go. We got toxic on some beanstalks, some sugar apples, so he is done with his job. Thank you for that. And let's hopefully get disco done now from these disco bees. We have 3 of them ready, then the other guy accidentally boosted, but he'll be ready in a few more minutes. And let's see, let's get us disco, please. Zaza, disco, please. Failed. Disco, please. Zeffy. Failed. Disco, please. Gigi. Please, Gigi, please. Please, Gigi. And failed. Okay, well, maybe our hope will be Flay. But we do have 2 more pet slots. We can go ahead and spawn some stuff in here. So I think with those 2 slots, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my jackalopes so we can get that sandy mutation done and out of the way, and get that applied to something. So we have sandy ready and we can start getting ceramic done a little bit. So these guys are usually pretty quick. I might just give them a quick boost anyways, just to help, just to give them a little bit more of a percent chance, because their cooldowns are quick, but their percent chance is pretty low. But that gives them to an 18% chance to get sandy done. All right, first time's the charm. The jackalope just applied sandy to one of our sugar apples, so these guys are good. We can go ahead and get them out of the way, which is perfect. And again, we still have a couple of pets to wait for here. I'm going to reboost my Flay disco bee wherever he is, over there. All right, so hopefully he will come in clutch and give us disco. But again, we have 2 more pet slots, so I guess we can go ahead and get started on, let's see, we have quite a lot of pets still to go through, but I know a lot of these pets we'll have to use for our AFK grind, but I don't know what I want to do, bro. I don't know. This, I'm just gonna go ahead and get 2 chicken zombies, because we got to get those guys done anyways. So we'll go ahead and get these 2 ready, and hopefully one of these guys will give us the zombified mutation quickly, and then we can swap them out with some more chicken zombies in just a bit once our disco bees are done, and then get the other pets going. Sure, that's fine with me. Now hopefully Flay here comes in clutch, gives us disco, so we can go ahead and spawn in a few more chicken zombies and get zombified done and out of the way. All right, Flay, come on. All right, disco, please. He was out of range of everything. Wow, that is annoying. That is very annoying. Our Peach Wasp and Corrupt Kitsune will be done shortly anyways, so we can get these 2 guys swapped out for some more chicken zombies. Bruh, our Corrupt Kitsune just shot out a ton of stuff, and not one thing got corrupt chakra. This happened with the pterodactyl the other day, but however, I forgot. So hopefully these disco bees give us disco so we can swap out and get some more chicken zombies in here. But also I forgot we have to do our Raiju, because our Raiju will give us the static mutation. And now if you get static and shocked mixed with Maelstrom, which Maelstrom is tempestuous and cyclonic, you can now get the storm charge mutation, which is like a 220 times multiplier, which is very good. It mixes like everything together and makes it way better. So we need to get that done. But we can also get the Raiju going once our Peach Wasp is done, which our Peach Wasp will be in here in just a second. So hopefully we get disco, we'll get plasma done for sure, and then hopefully Corrupt Kitsune won't fail us the next time, so we can get ready for our AFK setup. But in the meantime, we got the Sky Merchant here, so I'm going to buy some of the stuff. There's no Cloud Touch sprays, but I do have a ton of those on my main account, so that's fine, and we're good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and I guess we could probably boost the Peach Wasp now. I think it's about ready for a toy. There we go, 1.5 minutes, so let's go ahead and get plasma done, and then we can swap that out for our Raiju. And in the meantime, our disco bees will hopefully give us disco now. Please give us disco done, please. All right, disco failed. Wow, you guys are failing me today. Usually you guys don't fail this much. Usually we're moving forward by now, but I don't know what's your guys' problem today. All right, well, sorry, I'm moving around in my chair, dude. Gotta readjust. Anyways, please, Zaza, Zeffy, come on, guys. You guys can do this for us, please. We need to get Disco. Give us Disco. Get it done. Failed. Zeffy, please. You know, you always come in clutch. You always come in clutch, right?
Nope.
Bro, why are you guys failing so much today? What is going on? You guys have a 28% chance, and you just be failing at every chance you have. At least the Peach Wasp knows what it's doing, and it's going to give us plasma right away. There goes our Peach Wasp with this PNG gliding animation, and there we go. We got plasma applied to a sugar apple, so the Peach Wasp is done, and we can go ahead and spawn in the Raiju to get the static mutation done. I'm gonna go ahead and place a carrot seed down. We have a shock spray we can use. Our last one from Brighter, dude. Thank you, Brighter, for your service. I wish you were still here. I wish you were here to see us this day and age, how we do these videos now. Here we go. Goodbye, shock spray. But anyways, our Raiju will eat this shocked carrot in just a little bit and apply static to stuff, and that'll be another guaranteed mutation out of the way. All right, so our Raiju is about to eat this shocked carrot and apply static to some of our fruits here, and then our chicken zombies are almost done with their cooldown, so hopefully get zombified done. Hopefully they're a little bit faster than the disco bees today, and then we have 3 disco bees that are going to attempt to apply disco as well. But anyways, here goes the Raiju. He just ate our carrot. He's gonna apply static to stuff, so we got sugar apple with static and some beanstalk, so that works. So thank you, Raiju, for your service. Pick you up. All right, first disco bee failed. What about the other 2? All right, please give us disco, dude. Why are you guys taking so long today? Like, all of our other pets are doing their jobs and you guys are just failing at life. Come on, no more failing at life. We got to keep moving forward. All right, come on, disco bee, give us disco, please. Failed. Zeffy, please, man. You gotta understand, like, we've been at this all day. Come on, man. We're gonna be at this all day. Come on. Finally, dude. Zeffy came in clutch. We got disco applied to a sugar apple. Thank you so much. The disco bees are finally done. We can move these guys out of the way, and then we can actually go ahead and boost our Corrupt Kidzoon to hopefully get Corrupt Chakra done, and then we have 2 chicken zombies about to do their thing. Now, in case these guys fail again, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more chicken zombies down. Now, hopefully these 2 don't fail. The disco bees already failed us enough today. Bella, Shano, however you say your name. Look, I have faith in you guys. You guys always come in clutch with the zombified mutation. Please come in clutch again today so we can get ready for our AFK grind, okay? So we have a lot of pets to AFK with, and it'd just be nice if we get you all done and out of the way. Not that I hate you or anything. I love you guys, but please, come on, make it easy. First chicken zombie. Give us that zombified mutation. Come on. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's go do the first one. Apply to zombify to beanstalk. Like, why couldn't the disco bees do that? Why they gotta be all goofy today, all right? I don't understand. But anyways, after our Corrupt Kidzoon gives us Corrupt Chakra, we'll be good to go for our full AFK setup. But for now, we can go ahead and start getting some of these AFK pets put in. So we're gonna get the Griffin in to get Cyclonic, Junkbot to get Oil, a Lobster in here to get Meteoric and Molten, the Gnome to get Gnomed, the Spriggan to give us Bloom. Oh yes, we're missing our Corrupt Scarlet Macaw and our Tranquil Scarlet Macaw. And then we also gotta get that Spaghetti Sloth swapped out for the Corrupt Kidzoon once he's done, and then we should be good to AFK for a bit. So let me get that Spaghetti Sloth ready. All right, let's see if our Corrupt Kidzoon clutches up for us this time and gives us Corrupt Chakra. He should. We have so many plants, dude. Come on. All right, there we go. We got some on the sugar apple, some on the beanstalk, so we're good. We now have Corrupt Chakra. And again, I know people are going to be like, oh, why don't you get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra and Foxfire Chakra? Well, look, man, like, I don't have much time today, especially, but usually I might try to do it in the future since we do like this nice like little AFK setup now. The moment I'm just not gonna do it again today, but yeah, hopefully I'll start doing that in the future so we can get harmonized Foxfire Chakra and regular harmonized Chakra, so we get those extra multipliers for some extra cha-ching, you know. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this Corrupt Kidzoon, and we're gonna replace him with a Spaghetti Sloth here. This guy will give us sauce, pasta, and meatballs, so we can get spaghetti done, and then we're gonna get the aromatic mutation from his mutation shards. There'll be 4 mutations from him. So now we have our AFK setup. I'm gonna go ahead and AFK for a little bit. Hopefully these guys will give us their mutations, and as they do, we'll swap them out with some Kappas and some Spinos, and then we'll get everything moved over to our Wisp Wing, and we'll have the ultimate Wisp Wing and grow a garden. All right, so I just got back from our first round of AFKing, and it looks like on some of our plans we did get some of the mutations already. So I noticed over here we actually got the Gnomed mutation done, so we can go ahead and pick up our Gnome. And then I also noticed up here, right here, we got the Oil mutation done, so we can go ahead and pick up our Junkbot. He's actually trying to reapply Oil. Let's see if he does it anywhere else. No, okay, but it's done anyways, so we can go ahead and pick up the Junkbot there. And let's see, did we get anything else? I did see, and I'll show you in a second here, but hold on. It's really hard to climb this beanstalk. It's a pain to climb this beanstalk. I'm falling out. All right, let's check on here. Okay, nothing looks different on here. But, okay, so on one of these sugar apples, we actually got meteoric done already, which we got meteoric done before we got molten done, it looks like, which is kind of crazy because that never happens. But there it is, meteoric. So meteoric is done. We just need to get molten now. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do is, I guess we'll also see if we get bloom done and cyclonic done. So let me go ahead and I guess go ahead and boost our griffin to see if we can get cyclonic done real quick. Let's see. Okay, lots of cooldowns, but I did not see cyclonic, but that's fine. Lobster's doing something. Okay, he failed molten, that's fine. And then let's see if we can get bloom done with our spriggan here. Okay, one plant or one fruit just got bloom done, so we are done with our spriggan. That's perfect. So it looks like we just need to get cyclonic still, molten, and then we need to get corrupt, tranquil. And I think we only got meatball done so far, but we need to get sauce, pasta, and aromatic. All right, so taking a quick peek at everything here, it looks like on our Wisp wing, we did get storm charged, which means we did get static moved over, and we did get tempestuous moved over and all that. So that's good. We can go ahead and favorite that. Oh, and we also seem to have gotten meteoric and molten, so those did get moved over and applied to our Wisp wing. With that, we can go ahead and pick up our lobster pet here. So that's one of those guys gone for some extra space. And over here, I noticed we did get the corrupt mutation, so we can go ahead and pick up our corrupt scarlet here. And since we did get cyclonic done, because cyclonic, once it mixes with tempestuous, it becomes maelstrom, and then once maelstrom combines with static and shock, it becomes storm charge. So since we have storm charge, it is confirmed that we have cyclonic, so we go ahead and pick our griffin up. And I have not seen bloodlet yet on anything. I've not seen it on our big wisp wing here yet, so it looks like we still need to try and get bloodlet done from our kappas. We still need to get tranquil done. And then for our spaghetti sloth, it looks like we have a lot of meatball and sauce all around, but it looks like we still need pasta and aromatic. And this thing did become frozen. As you can see, there's a big frozen box. We got a lot of chilled events, so that is done. And hopefully we can get bloodlet on something that's not frozen so we can move it all over. I think to help the kappas, I will go ahead and put down a couple of carrot seeds here. They seem to like the carrots, and if I put them on kind of both sides of the garden, eventually something here is going to get bloodlet, so that should help them out a little bit there. All right, so since we only have one kappa spawned in, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another one to try and get bloodlet done a little bit faster. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our other two spinos so they can start tearing through all of our fruits a little bit faster. There's a lot of glimmering fruits, so it might take a little bit longer this time around. I'm gonna try to pick up the glimmering fruits once this next event ends, so they have an easier time in the next hour to move everything over. Oh, it looks like we did get aromatic, so all we'd need is pasta then. Did he just do that? I didn't notice. He might have just done that. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so we just need pasta then, tranquil, bloodlet, and then everything moved over. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these glimmerings and then go back to being AFK. All right, so I was AFK for a little bit, and I actually checked, and we still need to get bloodlet moved over, and for some reason, our spaghetti sloth has also not given us pasta yet. So we're still waiting to get pasta on something to get that moved over. And then besides that, I don't know what happened, but for some reason, my corrupt mutation that I had on one of my sugar apples is gone, and I didn't do anything besides AFK, so the spinos should have moved it, but it's literally not on this anywhere. I don't know where it went. So yeah, I'm waiting to get that done again, and then of course we need to get pasta so we can get spaghetti done. And then besides that, I forgot earlier in the video to spawn in a golden goose, but I actually had a golden egg in my inventory, sold it, and I got fortune on a sugar apple, so we got to get that moved over as well. So we're still waiting for about 4 mutations to get moved over. We have 2 of them, and we're still waiting for 2 of them from our spaghetti sloth and from our corrupt scarlet. I don't know what happened to that corrupt, but I guess I'll look back in my video and see what may have happened, what may have went wrong, and hopefully that'll help me figure it out, and then we can get corrupt added onto here. But yeah, we're almost done. This has taken quite a while today, but just some of my mutations kind of like just blooped away. I don't know why. I think they bugged out or something from the spinos. All right, so we pretty much got everything moved on to our wisp wing. As you can see, we have all of these mutations on it. Now I know the list looks a little shorter than it usually does, and that's because we had tempestuous / maelstrom now mixed in with static and shock, so that made the list a little bit smaller. And the other thing we're actually missing is corrupt. I don't know what happened to my corrupt mutation. I had it on a sugar apple, and I ended up just reclaiming all my sugar apples and my beanstalk to make it a little bit easier for all of my Spinos to move stuff over. And so my corrupt scarlet would only focus on the Wisp-wing so we can get it back quickly. And it literally didn't work. And I have to catch a flight in the morning and it's going on midnight and I'm just finishing recording this. I've been at this for like 7 hours, dude. So I got to just kind of cut it there and I'm sorry about that. I wish I could have got that corrupt mutation added on here and a couple of the other ones. But from AFKing and getting all of our pets done, this is what we're looking at. And if I actually unravel all these, we have 28 mutations on here and a solar eclipse just started. So we might be able to get a eclipse on this real quick before we end off. And yeah, if we can get that, we would have 29. But if we actually separate these mutations here, Spaghetti would actually bring us up to about 30 mutations. Storm Charge would bring us up to about, actually this one would give me a lot. So it'd be like Windstruck, Tempestuous, Cyclonic, Shocked, and Static. About an extra 4 mutations. So it'd have like 34 mutations with that. Harmonized Chakra, 35. Gloom, 36. Paradisal, about 37. And Frozen, about maybe 38. And also we had Sandy, but usually we get that to Ceramic, which would be about like 40. I don't know why I didn't convert to Ceramic, because this thing had Wet on it applied multiple times, but I think it's because it got frozen before Wet got applied to that Sandy to make it clay and then into Ceramic. So some goofy stuff happened, but overall, I mean, this Wisp-wing has a lot of mutations. It pretty much has everything we normally do. A couple screw ups here and there, but I apologize about that. I don't really have time to fix it right now. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do without further ado here is I'm going to spawn in my raptors to attempt to hopefully get Amber added onto our Wisp-wing as well. And we're gonna just wait a minute to see if the solar eclipse event actually gives us the eclipse. I know I could probably place some carrots and get it down quick and then add a Spino in and move it over. But again, I don't really have time because I got to get to bed for this flight. So I'm just going to see if we get eclipse real quick. And if we don't, then that's unfortunate. But hopefully we can get it just real quick on there. That'd be nice. You know, real quick. Come on, buddy. All right. We unfortunately did not get the eclipsed mutation. We might have if I put some carrots down or if that would have happened a few minutes earlier. But anyways, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and pick up our Wisp-wing and let's see if we get the Amber mutation applied.
Nope.
No, we literally did not get the Amber mutation applied, which is crazy, dude. I don't know why we have so many raptors now. We're getting it even less, I feel like. But I don't know, man. They got to give us a way to get the Amber mutation spray back because the raptors, they just don't do us justice sometimes. But anyways, here's our Wisp-wing with all these mutations on it. It looks absolutely crazy, dude. This is like the best looking fruit in the game, in my opinion. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and check the value of this thing with Steven. So, Steven, what is our Wisp-wing worth today? This thing is worth 800 billion. And again, if we got that corrupt mutation, that eclipse mutation that just happened, and possibly even Amber on here, this thing would have definitely it would have most likely been in the trillions, which is pretty crazy. I mean, this thing is worth a lot of money. Now, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, the Amber Heart is worth a little bit more than this, I believe, or it's maybe about the same, but this Wisp-wing can grow really big. I think it's easier to get a bigger one of these than the Amber Heart, and this thing just looks incredible. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my Firewall down right here, and then we're also going to go ahead and use some of our sugar apple seeds here. We do have sugar apples spawned over here, but we're gonna go ahead and actually plant some new ones since those have tons of mutations on them. And with that, we're going to spawn in our apple gazelle pet, and we're also going to spawn in our mandrakes. What we're going to go ahead and do now is hit the grow all button on my main account here so we can get those sugar apples to grow in, and also our Firewall. All right, and there we go. So here is the new Firewall. These are actually pretty tiny, so we are going to pick these up and we're going to actually grow them in a second. But first, we're going to attempt to get the warp mutation with our apple gazelle. He's already boosted, so let's go ahead and pick up some of these sugar apples here. Surprisingly, we did not get the warp mutation from that, so let's go ahead and grow all again and then try that again. Sometimes this happens, but we should be able to get it within the next grow all or 2 grow alls. Let's see. Bro, why are we actually not getting the warp mutation? Usually we get it pretty quickly. Do they nerf this guy? I don't know. Seems to be about the same % chance. All right, let's keep trying. All right, we're still not getting it, dude. I don't know what's going on here. Just making sure we didn't get it like on anything else. Like maybe it's bugging out or something, but I don't see it on anything. So I think we're just having an issue here. All right, well, I guess I'll keep trying. Just give me a minute here. We should be able to get it in a second. I don't know why it's taking so long. There we go. Finally, we got the warp mutation to spread to one of our plants here. So it's on one of our sugar apples that's already established. So, all right, it just took a couple of tries today. Usually we get a lot faster, but our luck today, I guess, is just not very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up then, now that we're done with these sugar apples. All right, and let's go ahead and pick up our apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and get our mandrake seeds ready here with an advanced sprinkler and some watering cans. We're gonna go ahead and place a couple of these down and try to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, there we go. We got the rot mutation to spread over here to one of our sugar apples. So that mutation is now done. And we can go ahead and pick up the rest of these mandrakes and get started with the actual plant here. All right, let me go ahead and sell all this stuff that's in my inventory. Get rid of these real quick. And let's pick up our mandrakes. And let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in our mooncats here, at least 7 of them. People are saying they nerfed the mooncats, but actually the mooncats just had a bug and they fixed it in this update. So now our mooncat should actually work correctly. We're going to spawn in a triceratops to help speed up the growth. And let's go ahead and pick up all these firewalls here. And let's go ahead and get our sprinklers down on this firewall plant. So we're going to go ahead and use the Grandmaster sprinkler here, Master sprinkler, our Godly sprinkler, Advanced, and Basic. There we go. And I believe this is an autumn plant, so we don't have any fall sprinklers on this account. Let me go grab one on my main account real quick, and then we'll throw that in the mix. All right, there we go. We have a maple sprinkler added from our main account now, and now we should be able to get some pretty big firewalls here, and it's growing actually pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and throw this right here and see if our mooncats will help boost this. There's a couple of them here, so hopefully that'll help give us a little bit of a mooncat boost, but now that we have all of our sprinklers down and we have our mooncats, we should be able to get a pretty big firewall, and then we can start getting all the mutations added to this thing, and we'll also get all of these extra admin mutations moved over to it as well, so we're going to have a really expensive firewall today. I'm going to go ahead and favorite these just so when we attempt to get the rainbow mutation done, we don't have to worry about these converting to rainbow over here, although we have a lot of these things that are mutated like crazy, so I'm gonna have to favorite like everything over here. All right, I got some more mooncats sleeping. We have a couple of them up here. Let me move this over here because there's like 3 of them right there, and then hopefully we get a pretty big one to grow in. These 2 are decent, but they're not as big as we definitely could get it. Can I move this, please? All right, so we're gonna let that do its thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and look through here, make sure we get everything favorited so we don't pick anything up. There are so many sugar apples in here that we're gonna have to favorite and make sure are safe. All right, sorry, I'm multitasking here, but I'm gonna keep moving this into the pile of mooncats to try and get a big firewall to grow in. This dude is hitting the sugar apples. That doesn't really help us out, but sure, thanks, man. All right, so I'm gonna wait for a big firewall to grow in. I'm gonna keep favoriting all these sugar apples because there's actually so many. Once we get a pretty big firewall to grow in, we'll come back, get rainbow on it, and then start getting all the mutations. There's just so many plants today. The admin event really is slowing me down because there's so many things I gotta favorite, and I'm gonna have to unfavorite all of them later. So just give me a minute. I'm gonna come back once we have a big firewall and all this is favorited to save some time. All right, so we are back, and we actually got blessed today because we got rainbow firewalls, and also these things grew way bigger than I thought they were going to. So yeah, this one that's actually the biggest one is surprisingly rainbow, so we don't have to go through the whole process of waiting for our butterfly to do its magic on it. So that's actually crazy that we got a rainbow on our first try, and I just spent all that time favoriting all of our fruits so the butterfly wouldn't eat it and eat all the mutations and move them over here. So we actually got really lucky, but now I have to sit here and unfavorite all of them, but I'll do that in a little bit when we're gonna get ready for our spinos. But anyways, yeah, so we have our big firewall here. It is already rainbow, which saves us some time, so we don't have to sit here and wait for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly and do all that stuff. So we're good with that. We can go ahead and actually start getting some mutations applied to this thing right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and look through my sprays here. I do need to get pollinated on this. We're gonna put that. We do have chocolate actually added over there, and windstruck is actually in the mix over here as well. We have tempestuous on plenty of fruits, so we can save those today. We are gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down though and add this onto there so we can get the honey glaze mutation. There we go. And then on our main account here, we're going to add the glimmering spray, the cloud touch spray, and the luminous spray. And we also just had our main account's Kitsune apply the chakra mutation in one of the sugar apples over here, or the carrots, so that's an extra mutation done as well. But there we go. Now we have some extra mutations added to our firewall. It looks all beautiful and shiny. But we have 6 mutations on there from sprays, and we are good to go with that. We also don't need verdant, which I would normally spray that, but we already have the verdant mutation applied over here on one of our sugar apples, so we are fine, and we can save the verdant spray as well today. So yeah, a lot of our work was done from the admin events, which is actually crazy. So I am going to go ahead though and spawn in a carrot seed right here, and we're going to use our main account to spray the carrot with the shocked mutation spray. Okay, there we go. And now that we have a shocked carrot here, we can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, and he is going to eat this carrot and then apply the static mutation around the area to maybe the sugar apples or our firewall, or maybe some more carrots, because I am going to place a couple more down here, so that way we can get the static mutation, and that will be used for storm charge or maelstrom later. Since he spawned in, we can go ahead and start getting all of our guaranteed mutation pets done and out of the way as well. So let's go ahead and spawn in our golden goose so we can get a fortune egg set. And let me just go through the mix here. We need our phoenix, so so we can get the flaming mutation done. We don't need our pterodactyl because we already have tempestuous. And we don't need glimmering spray because we already have the glimmering spray applied, or the luminous spray. We don't need that as well because we have that spray. We're gonna spawn in the cockatrice though for the toxic mutation. We do need our corrupt kidzoon for the corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra mutation today. I believe we actually need some jackalopes because we did not get the sandy mutation applied to anything from what I've seen. So we're gonna spawn in 2 jackalopes. We don't need our peach wasp today, so we can save that. We do need our lemon lion to get the brain rot mutation done, so we're spawning him in. And I'm just trying to go down the list because my brain's just not working today, dude. There's so many mutations that we already got, so my head is just like not there. So I'm trying to remember like what we need because everything's kind of mixed today. It's different from our normal arrangement of pets. So let's wait for these pets to get done, get these mutations, and then we'll swap out with some new ones. But I'm gonna make sure I get all my other guaranteed-ish pets done. All right, I think we're good. I think I have everything ready in my hotbar now that I need to for our guaranteed pets. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and boost these jackalopes. So that one's already boosted, but I'm gonna boost this one. We're gonna get the sandy mutation done. Once sandy's done, we're actually gonna spawn in our swan and our badger so we can get cracked and we can get graceful done. And then I'm gonna also need a couple more toys so I can boost some of these other guaranteed pets, get them done a little bit faster. So I'm gonna gift myself some more pets. I mean, some more toys. Bro, I literally can't think today. My brain is like completely fried. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. This is not my normal mutation video, all right? There's so much going on today. My head hurts. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and boost the Raiju as well to save some time there. And let's just see if we can get the jackalopes done and get Sandy. Once we get Sandy, we could swap out with 2 of these guys down here. Failed. What about the other one? Failed. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit here to get Sandy. I'm gonna give myself some more toys, so we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll see what mutation we get done next. So I'll be right back. All right, we are good. I got some toys, and some of our pets are going to apply their mutation. So we're gonna have the lemon lion give us the brain rot mutation, and we can swap him out for our swan. And we're gonna also boost some of these other guys. Let's boost the phoenix to get him done and out of the way. Let's boost the cockatrice to get him out of the way, and we can also boost the golden goose, and that should save us a couple minutes for those guys. And our jackalopes are still trying to apply sandy, so hopefully we can get that done pretty quickly. All right, but yeah, first pet to give us a guaranteed mutation today is the lemon lion. He has a pretty quick cooldown, so that saves us some time here. We can swap him out. All right, there we go. We have the brain rot mutation applied to a sugar apple, so he is done with his job. Pick him up, and we're gonna actually replace him with the swan because the swan is the next guaranteed mutation. We get graceful every 5 minutes, so that will help us out there. And phoenix is going next. We got the flaming mutation on a bunch of our sugar apples, and I think some of our carrots. So Phoenix is done. We can get rid of him. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the Phoenix with, I guess, the giant badger so we can get the crack mutation done since he goes pretty quickly. I'm also going to get some more carrot seeds ready so when we spawn in our kappas, we can get bloodlet done a little bit faster. All right, so our Raiju will be next and then our cockatrice, but our Raiju will eat this shock carrot and then apply static to a ton of stuff, probably just our other carrots since we have so many spawned in now. And then once he's done, I guess I'll replace him with the kappas or maybe the grizzly bears next so we get fall done. And then hopefully these jackalopes hurry up, bro, and give us sandy. We got to get these guys out of the way, dude. But, oh, our giant badger will be done as well with the Raiju and then also our cockatrice. So we'll have some more spots. We can throw some grizzly bears in here, the kappas, and get those mutations done. But, all right, Raiju, come eat the shock carrot, buddy. Don't eat. I hope I didn't forget to favorite something over there and he's going to eat that. All right, good. I think we're good. He's targeting. Uh-oh. What did he just eat? Bro, you just ate one of my good carrots, I think. Or actually, no, I think he ate it from a apple that I didn't favorite because these are all favorited. All right, well, that's fine. We got static done. I don't even know what he just ate, bro. There's so many mutations. My head hurts. All right, and we just got toxic done on some more carrots. I believe this one. Did this one just get toxic on it? One of these I thought just got toxic done. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But the jackalope did just apply sandy as well. And then our badger is going to apply the crack mutation to a bunch of stuff, which he just did to this one. So we are good. All right, so Raiju's done. Cockatrice is done. Jackalopes are done because we just got sandy and badgers done with cracked. So we are good. We just got a bunch of mutations done out of the way. I am going to move. I don't know what carrots we got toxic on, so I'm just going to throw this one over here. And we just got 24 fruits with the cracked mutation, bro. We didn't even need that many, but thanks for your service, I guess. That works. I'm going to pick up some of these carrots to get them out of the way. We actually did get cracked directly on our Firewall, so we really don't need cracked on anything else. I might as well just pick up all these extra carrots that we have them on. There we go. Just move everything out of the way. There we go. So we're good with that. We got these guys done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my grizzly bears now because we need to get the fall mutation done. The grizzly bears are going in. Let's go ahead and spawn the kappas in as well so we get bloodlet done. We'll spawn in 2 kappas here, get us bloodlet done pretty quick. And then we're also gonna go ahead and just get our gnome out of the way since we have quite a lot of gnomes here. He's got a pretty high % chance to get the gnome mutation done. And then after we get these guys done, we'll do our chicken zombies and then we'll be ready for our AFK setup, which should be pretty easy today since we got a lot of the AFK mutations done already. We just need our Spinos to work in overtime today because there's so many mutations they got to move over, dude. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and boost the Swan again. I didn't realize he was not boosted anymore, but that will give us the Graceful mutation. And then our Golden Goose is also going to give us a Fortune Egg. Oh, thank you. You're placing it right next to our Spino platter. Thanks for your service. We'll enjoy your scrambled eggs. All right, I'm gonna pick up the Golden Goose now. Let's get the Graceful mutation done from our Swan. All right, we gotta apply to a Sugar Apple, so one of these have Graceful on them now. So the Graceful is done. We can pick up our Swan, and now we have 2 extra pet slots, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some chicken zombies to work on them to get the Zombified mutation done and out of the way. And once we get pretty much all these pets done, then we'll be ready for our AFK setup. So I'm gonna wait around. I'm gonna boost the Grizzly Bears here just to help them out, and then we're gonna wait around, see what mutations we get next, and work towards that AFK setup so we can just get everything applied to our Firewall. All right, so our Corrupt Kitsune is ready. Let's see if we get Foxfire, Corrupt Chakra. Okay, we got regular Chakra on a bunch of stuff, including a Sugar Apple and some carrots, so we can go ahead and pick up these carrots since it's on a Sugar Apple over there with our other stuff. But yeah, there we go. All right, so Corrupt Chakra is done. We can go ahead and pick up our Corrupt Kitsune. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace them, I guess, with our Spriggans so we get Bloom done, and that'll save some time. And then once our Grizzly Bears are done, we'll replace these with some more chicken zombies so we can make sure we get zombified done and out of the way. I think we're good. So now we just gotta wait for our Kappas to give us Bloodlit, our Grizzly Bears to give us Fall, and then our Gnome just failed, but we'll wait to try and get Gnomed. And once our Spriggan gives us Bloom, which should be pretty easy, we can go ahead and get some more chicken zombies in here or just get ready for our AFK setup. Now, because we have so many of the mutations done today already, our AFK setup will probably be a lot smaller today, so we'll have to do the Junk Bot, of course, Corrupt Scarlet, Tranquil Scarlet, Griffin, and then just the Spaghetti slots. But we will have about 3 slots open for Spinosauruses. So whenever we get started on that, we can get 3 of our Spinos ready, and then they can just start moving everything over to our Firewall already, which will be really helpful. And hopefully we can get the Firewall with all the mutations done within a couple hours. But yeah, this thing is about to be actually crazy and maybe even maxed out. We might have almost all the mutations on it today, like actually. So this will be an interesting one. This thing better be worth a lot of money. You better make us proud, Firewall. All right, so one of our Grizzly Bears finally just applied the Fall mutation to one of our Sugar Apples. I don't know. There's so many Sugar Apples, dude, with so many mutations, but it's in there somewhere. But our Grizzly Bears are completed. They are done. So with that, I'm gonna actually go ahead and spawn in a not that, but I'm gonna spawn in another chicken zombie, and I'm gonna spawn in my Queen Bee to help with some of these cooldowns so we can get the rest of these pets done, and then we'll get ready for our AFK grind pets. But our first 2 chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldown, so I'm gonna go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the zombified mutation out of the way, and hopefully we can, because that would help us a lot, so we can get moving along, and then we could just get the Bloodlit mutation done, Gnome done, and Bloom, and then we could be ready for our AFK grind. I mean, we really don't need to get these guys. We can actually just include in our AFK grind, but it's easier if we get them done now, so there's less to look around for later in the mix of a million mutations. But Fall's at least done. We're gonna see if we get the rest of these done. Hopefully we can get zombified done in the next 2 minutes, and we'll check back if we get it applied. If not, we're gonna wait until we get something applied, so I'll see you in a second. All right, so my Kappas just went crazy, applied wet to a bunch of our carrots, and we finally got a Bloodlit carrot done from our Kappa. So we can go ahead and pick up these guys here, and we can go ahead and move this Bloodlit carrot into the mix over here. And dude, my Spinos are about to eat real good. There's so many mutations for them to eat over here. They're gonna be sick to their stomachs. I mean, I'm sick to my stomach just looking at all these. They're gonna have to unfavorite everything over here. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some of these extra carrots here that have mutations on them to get some of the mutations that we don't need out of the way. And then with that, I'm gonna go ahead and plant some more for our Spriggan to have an easier time, and some of our other pets, and that should be good. Now, hopefully we get Gnome done, and hopefully we can get Bloom done. I'm gonna boost our Spriggan there to get him out of the way. But since we have 2 extra pet slots, I am gonna spawn in another chicken zombie in the mix. Actually, I'm gonna spawn in 2 more chicken zombies in the mix, just so we can hopefully get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And then once we get that done, hopefully we can get Bloom and Gnome done as well. That'd be very helpful. All right, our Spriggan should easily apply the Bloom mutation in just a second. There's so many carrots next to him. I don't think he can fail this. There's no way he fails this, right? And just to make sure, I'm gonna actually throw some more carrots over here. Actually, he should be fine. Look at him. Yeah, there we go. There's plenty. All right. So we got some Bloom done on carrots here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up, and we'll pick up a couple of these since we got like 4 of them done there. All right. I'm gonna pick up this Bloom carrot here, move it into our platter. There we go. And our Spriggan is done. So now we really just have to focus on our chicken zombies giving us zombified, and if the Gnome can give us Gnomed, that would be nice as well. But I'm gonna go ahead ahead and spawn in another. Actually, we already spawned in all of our chicken zombies. So I'm going to spawn in a mimic octopus to help mimic the chicken zombies just in case. So we have all these opportunities to get the zombified mutation done. And as soon as we have it done, we're going to move on to our AFK setup, get the rest of our pets done while the Spinos transfer everything over to our Firewall and have the ultimate Firewall and grow a garden. Hopefully this thing is worth it and worth a lot of money. Hey, thank you so much for that. More chakra. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and keep unfavoriting all of our sugar apples. I already unfavorited a bunch of them, but that way our Spinos will be ready to munch them down and hopefully move the mutations over to our Firewall. All right, we finally got the gnomed mutation done and applied to a sugar apple, so we're good to go. Now, I realized that we can actually just get ready for our AFK setup. Like, we could have just been doing it already, but I wanted to try to get those two done so we had more spots for Spinos to get all this moved over to our Firewall. But I think we're honestly fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and just see real quick if we do get the zombified mutation from our chicken zombie here. If we don't, then that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and just go forward with doing our AFK setup. But let's just real quick see if Shano here will give us our zombified mutation. If so, that'll be a little bit better because we'll have a little bit more space for some Spinos. But let's just see our luck. Let's see if we're lucky enough today to get this done. Bro, that scared the heck out of me. That was so loud for a second there. It made me jump. Tornadoes are scary. All right, Shano, come on. Let's get zombified so we have some more space for AFKing with Spinos, please. All right, failed. All right, I don't like you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the other chicken zombies we have here then. And I mean, I guess I could boost these two just for an extra chance. I'll see if I get zombified, but if not, we're gonna go down to just one. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets spawned in. So we're gonna use the junk bot to get the oil mutation, corrupted scarlet for corrupt, tranquil scarlet for tranquil, griffin for cyclonic, and then we can get maelstrom and storm charge, and the aromatic spaghetti sloth so we can get the aromatic mutation, of course, that it has on it. But then we get sauce, pasta, and meatball to get the spaghetti mutation, and that is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and also spawn in our first Mega Spinosaurus here so it can start eating away at mutations and moving them over to our Firewall. And we're gonna just see if we get zombified done. If we do, we're gonna spawn in 2 more Spinos, but if we don't, we're gonna go ahead and just pick up one of these chicken zombies and spawn in an extra Spino to replace one of these. But we'll see if we get it done. I'll be right back in 2 minutes to see if we get zombified done. All right, well, we did just get a frost event, which will probably ruin our chance to get ceramic done, but oh well, because our Firewall here just got frozen. But let's see if we get zombified, maybe. Failed. What about you, Bella? Come on, Bella, please. Failed. All right, they both failed. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of them then. That's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in another Mega Spinosaurus here. And then once we come back, when we get a couple mutations done, we'll spawn in these other 2 Spinos to help. But that will at least get things moving along so we get everything added to our Firewall. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these carrots then, since these chicken zombies are failing us. And we're just gonna get all these out of the way so there's less mutations to worry about, or at least less mutated carrots for our Spinos to eat off of, so they just focus on the fruits with actual mutations on them that we need. And there we go. We are now officially set up for our AFK setup. So we gotta wait to get zombified, oil, corrupt, tranquil, cyclonic, and then the 4 that the spaghetti sauce has, aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. And we're gonna wait for all those. Spinos will start moving everything over to our Firewall, and we should come back to a maxed out Firewall, and hopefully it'll be worth some good money. So yeah, let's go ahead and AFK and let our Spinos eat away. All right, so we just got back from AFKing. We let all of the rest of our pets get their mutations done, and we let all of our Spinos actually move those mutations to our Firewall. And now we're looking at this Firewall with literally 49 mutations on this thing. But if we separate these things, we have even more than 49 mutations. So Cosmic would bring us to about 50 mutations, Spaghetti 52 mutations, Abyssal would be about 53 mutations, Infernal would bring us up to about, I think, 55, 56 mutations. I believe about 56 because there's a lot in that Infernal mutation. So Frozen would be at 57 mutations, Paradisal 58 mutations, Gloom 59 mutations, Maelstrom would bring us to about 61 mutations, Harmonized Chakra 62 mutations, Corrosive 63 mutations, and that is about it. So yeah, we'd be at about 63 mutations with this Firewall with everything spread out. So this is definitely one of our most mutated plants. We pretty much have gotten every single mutation in Grow a Garden on this Firewall. I guess the only ones we really didn't get is like Ascended Chakra, and we still need to try to get Amber on it, but this thing is literally absolutely insane and has so many mutations, it better be worth a lot of money, dude. All right, but without further ado, I'm gonna actually use a magnifying glass on this thing first to see the value of it with all these mutations on it, and then we're going to attempt to use our raptors to get the amber mutation and see if the value will go any higher if we do get amber on it. So without further ado, we're gonna use my magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so with all of these mutations on this thing is actually only worth 2 trillion. Don't forget that this thing actually has Dawnbound on it and some of the best mutations on it, like Cosmic and Abyssal. And it's only at 2 trillion, dude. That is actually crazy. I expected this to be way more because it has this many mutations on it. And this is one of the new rarest fruits in the game. We've gotten better valued fruits from stuff in the seed shop. So that's actually kind of insane that it's only worth 2 trillion. Let's see if we can get amber on it though, and see if we can get it to be valued at a bigger amount. Now this thing might have actually been worth more if it was a bigger Firewall, but we did get a lot of mutations on it, and it is still pretty big. So for this only being 2 trillion, I honestly did expect more, but let's go ahead and see if we can top it off by getting the amber mutation. All right, and we did not get the amber mutation. So we're just going to be at the 2 trillion value mark, which is honestly, I mean, it isn't bad, but for how much we did here, I feel like that we got kind of ripped off, maybe. Just like, look at this thing. But I don't know, maybe you guys feel differently about it. All right, so first things first is I'm actually gonna go ahead and spawn in my apple gazelle here, and we're gonna spawn in my 3 mandrakes, and we're actually gonna go ahead and pick up these sugar apples that have the wet mutation on them and that are boring and kind of gross over here to try and get the warp mutation. There we go. We have the warp mutation that just spread to this sugar apple here. So our apple gazelle is actually done. We can go ahead and pick that guy up. We're going to go ahead then and spawn in an advanced sprinkler right here. And we're going to throw down some mandrake seeds. And we're just going to keep watering these and trying to get the rot mutation from our mandrakes real quick. All right, we didn't get any there. Let's try it again. All right, we just got to do this a couple of times until we get that rot mutation. Come on. You know what? I'm gonna boost these guys. They're not boosted. That would probably help. All right, now let's... Oh yeah, look at that. Literally right away once they're boosted. All right, so we have the rot mutation applied to one of our sugar apples over here. All right, so we are good. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of these, and we can go ahead now and pick up our mandrakes to get them out of the way, and we are good to go with the actual broccoli. So let's go ahead and place our broccoli down. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up by using my main account to grow all. All right, there we go. Here is our broccoli plant. So there's a couple of different broccolis on it. We have 3 broccolis at once, but now we're gonna go ahead and get our sprinklers down to get a big broccoli. So let's do our Grandmaster, Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic sprinklers. And there we go. We're gonna also go ahead and spawn in all of our Mooncats here, and we'll spawn in 1 Triceratops to hopefully give us a big broccoli. This guy will smack it, and we should get a big one, and then we can hit grow all again to finish the growth. But yeah, let's go ahead and wait. Let's see if we get a big broccoli to grow in, and hopefully we get a nice one so we can make a lot of good money today with these mutations and the big broccoli that we're about to grow, because this is pathetic right here. Okay, all right, we got some Mooncats sleeping. This is a good group right here. Oh, we got some more over here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in this group though of like 3 stacked Mooncats, and it's pretty close to the sprinkler still, so that should help it get affected even more. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're getting a big broccoli to grow in. We're just gonna see if we get any other growths. Okay, there's one actually growing right here. It looks to be a gold one, but it doesn't look as big as this one, but we'll look at them whenever they're actually grown in. What the heck, bro? That thing is puny compared to these two. What? Why is this one even trying? All right, Triceratops is coming in. Boom. Oh, there we go. That's way better. What the heck, dude? This thing is huge. Wait, this thing is really long, but what is this one then? This one's just like a little stubby guy. Is he gonna be as big or bigger than that? I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and just hit the grow all button again and just see what we get here. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at how big these broccolis are. That thing is huge. That one goes way out there. All right, we definitely have our broccoli. That is crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and favorite this one then, just so we don't pick it up. Yeah, this one just needed some motivation because this guy got extremely big. But this one is definitely our biggest one. So we're gonna pick up these 2 and we are good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. Let's go ahead and get some mutations on this so we can get it ready to become rainbow. So I'm gonna throw a windstruck spray on that. We'll throw a pollinated on it, a chocolate, and we'll save the rest of our sprays on this account, and then we'll come over here on our main account and we'll spray it with a, let's see here, we'll spray it with a verdant spray and a cloud touch spray. There we go. And now this thing has 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our queen bee, our butterfly, and the queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. We're also gonna go ahead and spawn in our golden goose here so we can get a fortune egg ready, and we're also gonna go ahead and spawn in our raiju so we can get the static mutation done. And then with that, we're going to spawn in a carrot seed. We're going to bring our main account over here to use one of its shock sprays on the carrot. There we go. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just place a couple more carrots in front of this. So the Raiju will eat this shocked carrot, and then it will slam the static mutation into these carrots. Our AFK setup for the next like 15 or so minutes is ready. It'll probably be about 10 minutes because we're going to boost our queen bee, get the butterfly to cool down, get this rainbow, and then we'll wait to get our fortune egg, and we'll get the static mutation done. So this will get a couple mutations done so we could be ready for the rest of our pets in just a minute here. And I guess while we're at it, since these guys have pretty short cooldowns, I guess we can go ahead and just spawn in our pterodactyl now as well to work on getting tempestuous. Since he has a pretty quick cooldown, we can get these guys done out of the way before this even gets rainbow. So I'll save some time in a couple minutes. So we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and let this get rainbow, let these guys do their things, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, real quick, our Kitsune is running in to apply the chakra mutation, and it applied it to one of the sugar apples, which is good. We don't want it to get on this broccoli because that's about to go to rainbow. So we have the chakra mutation ready to go, and we'll get that moved over later. And our pets on this account, of course, are still waiting for their cooldowns. Our Raiju will be done in a few minutes. We have to reboost the pterodactyl because the toy was off by a little bit, and then the golden goose we're going to boost in a little bit, and that'll be done as well. All right, our Raiju just ate our shocked carrot and applied static only to our sugar apples, which is surprising. I put all these carrots here for him to just not want them, but that's fine. At least we got it on some sugar apples, so we're good. Our Raiju's done. We're going to reboost our pterodactyl, get tempestuous done, hopefully, and out of the way, and then our golden goose will lay its egg. And that will be some of our, I guess, guaranteed mutations done and out of the way, and then we'll have a little bit less to worry about in a minute when we start with all of these guys down here. I guess I could start adding in some of these other pets as well. I want to do the peach wasp, but that will make our queen bee target that, so I'm going to skip that for now. But I guess we could also spawn in our lemon lion here to get the brain rot mutation done now, since it's only a 5-minute cooldown. But all right, there we go. So we got Twisted and Windstruck on a sugar apple, which means we have tempestuous added into the mix over there. So our pterodactyl is done, and then our golden goose is going to lay its egg next. And you know what? I guess since we have the lemon lion going to get brain rot, hopefully it doesn't add it to our big broccoli. I'm going to go ahead and also get a phoenix in here because the phoenix has about the same cooldown, and these guys will be done before we actually get this to convert to rainbow. Actually, you know what? If we boost the queen bee, I think, yeah. So we'll have rainbow in about 4 minutes, but this will, again, just give us a little bit of a head start with our guaranteed pets and their mutations, so that's fine. All right, so yeah, we'll get flaming done next, and then we'll also get brain rot done next, but our butterfly still has the biggest cooldown, so our queen bee will cool this down and still give us rainbow, so we'll be good. But anyways, our golden goose is going to give us a fortune egg that we can make scrambled eggs out of. I mean, get the fortune mutation out of. Thank you. I'm going to pick you up now and put this golden fortune egg over here because this will be where our Spinos eat. I'm also going to rotate this broccoli plant because it's kind of in the way of where we normally put our platter. So let me do that real quick. I'll go into my main account's garden with it. And then we can go ahead and move our golden fortune egg over here. All right. Well, good-ish timing, I guess. We have a heat wave event going on, and our tanning mirror is placed here, so I guess it won't really matter too much because these broccoli should be able to get sun-dried done out of the way, but this is about to turn into a rainbow broccoli. Now it's paradisal, but thankfully it is still 5 mutations and it didn't just eat one of them because then we would have almost missed our opportunity there, but we're good. So our queen bee is about to be done with this cooldown. It'll cool down our butterfly and turn this thing into a rainbow, and then also in the mix, our phoenix is almost done with flaming, and that will be applied to probably these carrots, and then our lemon lion's about to give us brain rot, so we have some good stuff happening. Hopefully the brain rot doesn't get applied to the broccoli. I mean, if it does, not a big deal, but that would be unfortunate, I guess. But there we go, queen bee's done, pulling down our butterfly. Butterfly is going to go ahead and convert this to rainbow now, and thankfully we got brain rot onto a sugar apple, so we're good, and our broccoli is now rainbow, so we are good with some of these pets. Let's go ahead and pick up our queen bee, butterfly, lemon lion, and then our phoenix will give us flaming next. All right, so we can go ahead and favorite this broccoli now that it is good to go and get some mutations on it. We can reapply our pollinated to it. We can reapply our chocolate to it. We're gonna go ahead and get our honey sprinkler on to it. Perfect. So now it is honey glazed as well. And let's go ahead and get our main account back over here to apply some mutations directly to it. So we're gonna apply the shocked spray to it. We're going to apply verdant back onto it. We're gonna apply cloud touched, luminous, and glimmering, and now this thing is up to 9 mutations, and we're about to have a lot more with our pets adding mutations and our Spinos moving those mutations over as well. And there we go, our phoenix is applying the flaming mutation to a bunch of our sugar apples and this carrot. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up this carrot to get that out of the way. So with that, we can go ahead now and get started with the rest of our mutations here. So I'm gonna pick up this phoenix. Let's go ahead and spawn in our cockatrice for the toxic mutation. We're gonna spawn in, we'd already used you, we're gonna spawn in our peach wasp to get the plasma mutation done. Our giant badger to get the cracked mutation done. We need our corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra done. We're gonna spawn in some jackalopes so we can get sandy done and out of the way. And what else can we spawn in that is guaranteed? We did get some of them out of the way. I guess we can spawn in our grizzly bears because these guys got to give us the fall mutation, and these aren't really guaranteed, but we can get them done. All right, so this is a decent setup here to get some of our mutations done. I'm gonna go through my inventory and make sure I'm not missing anyone. There's just so many pets now that I forget. I guess we'll do kappas after that. Oh, we gotta get our swan done. So you know what? I guess I'll pick up one of these grizzly bears for now and throw the swan in there just because that's guaranteed to get graceful. All right, so the cracked mutation has just been applied to a ton of stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this guy up since it's done. Bro, you're good. You don't need to keep applying it. You're good. He's gonna keep applying it anyways. But we have a bunch of cracked carrots, a bunch of cracked sugar apples, and a cracked golden egg, so we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up these carrots just to save some time later since we have cracked on so much stuff now. Yeah, he applied it to 22 fruits, bro. That you're good. We got it, man. We understood. I guess I'll do another grizzly bear. Let's just try to get fall out of the way, and then we can focus on these guys that we have down here. But yeah, let's try to get fall done. And yeah, we have a decent setup here, so we're just gonna wait around and get these mutations done and out of the way. All right, perfect. Our jackalope just applied sandy to this carrot, so we can go ahead and get our jackalopes out of the way. Let's go ahead and move this over here. I guess since our jackalopes are done, let's go ahead and spawn in a spriggan so we can get bloom done, and we'll also spawn in our kappas here to get bloodlet done. And I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in some more carrot seeds just so both the spriggans and the kappas have an easier time to get bloodlet and bloom done. All right, so let's go ahead and reboost that swan to get graceful done. All right, graceful is being applied. It is on the sugar apple over here, so we are good. Thank you to our swan for the graceful mutation, and hopefully we can get fall done now so we can have an extra 2 pet slots. All right, failed. All right, we're gonna have to wait a while for these grizzly bears, I guess. It's so loud, turn it down. All right, but since our swan is done, I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in our first disco bee here to start working on trying to get disco done. And as we get more of these pets done, I'll add more disco bees in, and then we'll do our chicken zombies. And then after that, we should be good to go for our AFK setup. All right, well, this will give us another pet slot here. Our cockatrice is going to apply toxic to some of our fruits now. All right, so we got it on one of the broccolis actually, and one of these carrots here, and I think we got it on a sugar apple, but since it's on that broccoli, we're good. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice now. It's an extra pet slot, so I guess with that extra pet slot, I'll throw in another disco bee so we can start working on getting disco done. All right, perfect. Our bear just roared in my ear, and he applied the fall mutation to our golden egg, so that is done. And we also just got a free cooldown from our peach wasp onto our disco bee, so that helps as well. But since these grizzly bears are now done, we have the fall mutation. We can get them out of the way, and we can go ahead and spawn in 2 more disco bees to try and get disco done. And once disco is done, we'll focus on getting zombified done. So that is good. All right, randomly an earthquake just started happening, but it is nighttime. It is that 4-hour mark, so we are good to go. And again, if you want to know when events like this are going to happen, you could join my Discord, discord.gg/bandites, and there's a bot in there. It'll tell you when events are happening and all the good stuff, okay? But anyways, we are getting a nighttime event, so once we get moonlit at least on one thing, then we are good to go. We'll probably get it on multiple, of course, because that's just how it is. You get moonlit on so much. You know, we also have a night staff, a couple of them. So I'm gonna throw this over here so we can try to just get it on the broccoli directly. Oh, okay. Well, we got it on a sugar apple, so we are good. We have moonlit done, and that will be another mutation we can add onto our broccoli shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and boost our corrupt kitsune and get that done and out of the way, so we can start spawning in some chicken zombies. And then we have some disco bees almost done, so I'm gonna boost these guys to hopefully give us disco. Our spriggan still has quite a while, and our peach wasp still has quite a while, but once those guys are out of the way, again, we'll replace them with some chicken zombies. But we are good. We got moonlit done, and we just have this random earthquake now that is running through everything. Ah, perfect. We got disco done on the sugar apple, so that'll save us some time, and we can get started with the chicken zombies. But there we go. We got corrupt chakra on a sugar apple and a carrot. I'm gonna go and just pick up this carrot because we have it on that sugar apple. So let's pick up the corrupt kitsune. Let's pick up our disco bees here, and let's go ahead and spawn in our chicken zombies now so we can get started with trying to get zombified done. All right, there we got 5 chicken zombies. They have about a 20-minute cooldown, but I'm sure one of them will help us get zombified out of the way. Our peach wasp is finally almost done. Our spriggan is finally almost done. I will have to reboost him, but I was testing his cooldown out with a toy. And then our kappa will hopefully apply bloodlet now. Let's go ahead and just wait a second here to see if our kappa will give us bloodlet. If he does, we can go ahead and swap him out for the gnome and try to get gnome done early, and that will give us a slot later so we can work on getting the spinos to start moving everything over to our broccoli. But let's just quickly see if he'll give us bloodlet. Hopefully he just wants pancakes really bad and sticks around the spot, but he's moving. Hey, buddy, come back over here. The pancakes need you. We're not done with you over here. Come here. Yeah, come here, buddy.
Nope.
No. Bad. Kappa, come here, dude. Come here, dude. What are you doing? No, Kappa, over here, man. All right, he's definitely not gonna give us bloodlet unless he runs over here. He's just hovering over here. He's being goofy, and nothing happened because he wasn't over here. All right, well, I guess it was worth a shot, but our Peach Wasp is about to be done with this cooldown and give us plasma finally, so we can swap it out with the gnome, and then I guess the Spriggan we can swap out with like a Mimic Octopus or something to try and get zombified done a little bit faster. All right, Peach Wasp, go ahead and give us plasma, gliding over to a carrot. Which carrot do you like, buddy? This one? Good choice, good choice. All right, we got plasma on the carrot. We can go ahead and pick up the Peach Wasp and throw this over here in the mix. Cool. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another Kappa so we can get bloodlet done out of the way, and then once the Spriggan's done, we'll throw in the gnome, and then of course we have a while for these chicken zombies. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and boost my Spriggan since he's right here. Let's go ahead and get bloom on one of these carrots, or a lot of these carrots, I guess. All right, well, it's on this one with the sandy, so that's fine. And I'm gonna actually just pick up some of these. If they have wet on them, I'm gonna keep them there just so we can have better chance for getting bloodlet done. So I guess we'll keep some of these with bloom on them. But all right, we are good. We can go ahead and pick up the Spriggan now. I'm gonna boost the Kappa, and actually, I guess I can boost both of the Kappas. That one's still needs a while. Bro, as soon as I boost them, they run away. Actually, this is the one we need right here, Mally. Come on, give us bloodlet, please. Buddy, stop running away. Stop running away from your problems. All right, thank you. Oh, hey, stop, bro. All right, stay right there. Give us bloodlet, please. All right, we got bloodlet on 3 fruits. Thank you. And there we go. We have bloodlet done. So the Kappas are good. We can go ahead and pick up these guys here. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my gnome now to try and get gnome done a little bit early. And let's go ahead and spawn in a queen bee to help with our chicken zombies and also a mimic octopus. And then with that, once we get zombified done, we'll be officially ready for our AFK setup. Okay, first try, we got gnome applied to a carrot, so that's perfect. The gnome mutation is done. And now our chicken zombies, all of them are about to be done with their cooldowns. So let's see if we get zombified done. All right, first one failed. All the other ones have about a minute left. So let's just see if we can get zombified done. But that was very useful that we got that done pretty quick. All right, failed. What about these other guys here? We have 3 more. Come on, zombified. One of you. Failed. All right, 2 more. Katie or Bella, let's go. Let's get zombified done. Failed, all right, and failed. All right, well, they all failed, but that's fine. What we're gonna go ahead and do then is pick up all these. Let's go ahead and pick up everything we have except 1 chicken zombie, so we'll leave this one here, Shano, and let's go ahead and get ready for our AFK setup then. So we're gonna spawn in a Tranquil Scarlet for the Tranquil Mutation, Corrupted Scarlet for Corrupt, Space Squirrel for Void Touched, a Griffin for Cyclonic, which can give us Maelstrom or Storm Charge, our Aromatic Spaghetti Slot, which can give us Meatball Sauce and Pasta to get Spaghetti, and then aromatic as the shard is on it. And there we go. We have 6 pets done, so we got to go ahead and spawn in our junk bot to get oil, and we got to spawn in our lobster to give us molten and meteoric, which can also give us infernal and blazing. So there we go. Those are all of our AFK pets set, and what we're gonna go ahead and do is just AFK, and once we get at least one of these pets completely done, we'll spawn in a Spino, and we'll replace it with the Spinosaurus, and then the more pets we get done will be replaced with more Spinosauruses until we have an army of Spinos, and then everything will get moved over to our broccoli. So we'll check back in a little bit, see what mutations we get done, replace them with Spinos, and then we'll fulfill our AFK grind and have the best broccoli and grow a garden. All right, so I just got back from our first AFK wave, and at some point I disconnected. My internet just died, I guess, while I was AFK. So that is not fun. However, we did get some stuff done. So we do have 2 cyclonic carrots, which means we can probably get this tempestuous carrot to try and get Maelstrom and cyclonic. I don't think you can stack them anymore, but it's worth a shot. If I hit the right order with the Spinos, then maybe. But anyways, with that, we also got a molten shocked carrot here. We got a few molten carrots, actually. So that's nice. So I'm actually going to go ahead, and since we had those cyclonic carrots, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this griffin here. And then on our golden egg here, we actually did get zombified, which is nice. So I can go ahead and pick up our chicken zombie as well. And then looking through here, we did get another cyclonic. Well, we already have 2, right? Yeah, so we have a lot of cyclonic fruits, but we can go ahead and pick up some of these. Another molten. This one has pasta on it, so I will keep this. So pasta is done. Let me go ahead and check that off my list over here real quick. Let's see if we got anything on the golden, or the, not the golden apples, the sugar apples, which right here I instantly jumped up, and there's oil, so oil is done. Let me go ahead and pick up our junk bot. What is happening? Oh, sudden god event. Wow, I did not expect that. So let's check our other plants here. We did get meatball done, so that is another one we could check off the list. And we got sauce done, so we actually have all these spaghetti mutations. We just need aromatic. So if we do see aromatic in the mix somewhere, then we are done with our spaghetti sloth. Oh, and we got meteoric done. I didn't realize. Okay, so we have meteoric done, so I can go ahead and cross that off as well. So our lobster is actually done with its job. So yeah, I think we still need aromatic, tranquil, corrupt, and void touch, because I do not see void touch as well. So we made some good progress, though. I am going to go ahead and pick up these other carrots here just to get some of these extra mutations out of the way. And now we have a clean palette to work with. So I'm gonna go ahead and place some more carrot seeds just to make it easier for my pets. So we get Tranquil, Corrupt, Aromatic, and Void Touch possibly. Actually, these guys have pretty much infinite reach, so it shouldn't really matter. But just in case, even if we get some events, it would be nice. So we now have 4 pet slots available to use. So with that, all right, make sure that's favorited because we're gonna go ahead and bring in our 2 Mega Spinosauruses and 1 regular Spinosaurus here to start eating away at all the mutations and moving them over to our broccoli plant. And then we are also going to spawn in our Ascended Mooncat to work on getting that Dawnbound mutation. Now this guy's literally going to take about 6 hours to get Dawnbound done, but when we boost him, it'll probably be like 5 or 4 hours, but right now it's like 6 p.m. so it's going to be close to midnight when we're done with this, but at least we'll have the progress made, so that'll be good. Now all we're going to do is go ahead and wait for our Spinos to move everything over. We're going to wait to get these last couple of mutations, and then we'll be ready to check the value of our big broccoli. So it's time to go AFK for a little bit longer. I'll see you guys soon. All right, so we went AFK for maybe about like 5 or 6 hours to make sure we got Dawnbound added and we got everything else moved over from our Spinosauruses, and here is our broccoli. This thing is actually insane. Like, it is so big and crazy looking, and it has a lot of mutations on it. So if we actually unfavored it here, we can see all of the mutations added to our broccoli. We actually have a total of 39 mutations, and then if we separate some of these, like spaghetti would be up to about 41 mutations, ceramic would bring us to about 43 mutations, abyssal 44 mutations, harmonized chakra 45, gloom 46, paradisal 47, storm charged would bring us to about 49, and infernal, I believe, would bring us to about 51 mutations on this broccoli. So this thing is actually insane. It's huge, has a lot of mutations on it, so I think it's got to be worth some good money. So first we're going to check with the magnifying glass to see how much this thing is actually worth, and then we're going to spawn in our raptors to see if we can amber on it and see if that boosts the price at all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull out our magnifying glass and see how much our broccoli is worth in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this broccoli with all of these mutations and at this size is worth 2.2 trillion, which is pretty good for this being like the first fruit that you can buy in the friendship tier of the shop. So honestly, not bad. And this thing grew pretty big, pretty fast. Like, it didn't really take much effort to get this thing this big. However, it did take a lot of effort for the mutations, but overall 2.2 trillion is pretty good for this piece of broccoli. So let's go ahead now and spawn in our raptors to see if we can get amber. And if we can, that might actually boost our mutations up a little bit. So let's spawn in all of our raptors here, and they're all boosted. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pick it up and see if we get amber. And wow, look at that. We actually got amber the first time in a while. Like, look at how crazy this thing is, dude. I don't even see it anymore. It's just flashing lights. It's so crazy and insane. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my main account, and let's see how much amber actually bumped up the price of this thing. So give me a second to bring my main in here. All right, so all we're going to do to check the updated value is give a trading ticket to my main account here, and we're going to just put it in the trade menu and see how big this thing is. Okay, so it's actually not going to show me what the full value is. Surprisingly, it went down and it only shows 1.9 trillion. And I believe if we actually bring this thing over to Steven here and we see how much it's worth, it's only going to cap at 1 trillion. Oh no, actually it shows 1.9 trillion. So for whatever reason, getting the amber mutation actually made this thing go down in value, I guess, or the size for some reason got affected and it's actually not as big as it's supposed to be. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know why it went down in price. It should go up, but I guess we do have another mutation added on to this piece of broccoli, so that's that. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And also, we do have the new pet. I went ahead and just did this where I skipped all of the tiers in the past so we could get this new pet, the Misuchi. I believe that's how you say it. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the Crimson Thorn. We're also going to go ahead and move this. This is my carrot here with the Shock mutation with some extra mutations on it. However, we have all these mutations over here. We AFK'd for like 24 hours during the admin events, so we got a ton of mutations. We also even have the Rainbow Mutation up here, so we're just going to use our Spino today to move that over, and we're going to save some time with a lot of our pets, and we have a ton of other mutations done that we can save time getting today. So that should help us out a lot. So we have this carrot here. We're going to use our Raiju in a second, but first thing we're going to do is actually spawn in these mandrakes here, and we're going to spawn in... Oops, that's a mandrake seed. We're spawning our mandrakes. Apple gazelle. We're going to spawn some mandrake seeds in right here. We're going to go ahead and drop down an advanced sprinkler right over these. Grab some watering cans, which, by the way, apparently there's super watering cans now. How? Oh. That's what, wow, the super watering can is very fast. Okay, that's actually crazy. All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and watering can these mandrakes here with the advanced sprinkler. Wow, that's a big mandrake we just got. Never seen one that big. That's kind of crazy. All right, we're gonna pick these up though, try to get the rot mutation done. There we go, we got the rot mutation applied to a sugar apple, so we're good there. We're gonna now go ahead and spawn in a couple of my sugar apples here. We have a grow all tool we're gonna go ahead and use and just go ahead and grow all with this. And our apple gazelle is... actually looks a little different. Did he get a new texture? Or no, his apple's gone. That's why. All right, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and boost him, though, with a toy here. And we're going to go ahead and pick these up and attempt to get the warp mutation done. All right, we actually did not get the warp mutation from that. So let's go ahead and try it again. Bro, we usually have warp by now. What is going on? All right, well, I guess I'll use this one. And if not, we'll use our main account to start growing all because something is not right here. All right, I guess we'll just keep trying because I don't know why. I cannot get a warp mutation today.
2 seconds later.
All right, well, apparently looking in the Discord server, the warp mutation is broken right now. So I just spent like 1,000+ Robux to try and get it, and we're not able to get it. So I guess it's actually broken. People are reporting in the Discord that it is not working. So I guess we're not going to be getting warp mutation today, which is unfortunate. But all right, we're going to go ahead and move on then. Sorry that I'm not getting warp today, but we have some extra ones anyways that we can apply instead of warped, so it should be fine. But anyways, from there, let's go ahead and just reclaim these sugar apple trees then, and we picked up all those pets, and then let's go ahead and get a big crimson thorn to grow in. Now I got to pick up these ones that have grown in. So this thing's actually pretty cool. It's like a staircase. You can literally just climb this thing all the way to the top, so it's pretty insane. I don't know if this is a bigger one or if these can be smaller, bigger. I think it's got to be about this size, but we actually have a rainbow one there, but we do have rainbow mutations down there that we're gonna use our Spinos move over, so that's fine. And all right, this one's clear, so now we can go ahead and get our sprinklers ready. So let's go ahead and just get these done here. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply a Grandmaster sprinkler, Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic. There we go. So that way we can get some big crimson thorns in here, and then we're also going to spawn in some mooncats. So let's go ahead and spawn in quite a few mooncats here, and let's go ahead and spawn in one triceratops to speed up some progress. All right, so we just gotta wait for a big crimson thorn now, and once we get one, we can actually go ahead and just start applying mutations to it because we already have rainbow done over here. So we do not need to use our butterfly today. We do not need to use our queen bee. We also have oil, so we won't need to use junk bot. We already have ceramics, so we won't need to use the jackalope. We already have plasma, so we don't need to use the peach wasp. We already have tempestuous, so we don't need to use the pterodactyl. Now we do have meteoric, but we don't have molten, so we'll have to use the lobsters for just a little bit, but not for too long. But anyways, it looks like we're good. Our mooncats are stacking up nicely on our crimson thorn here. We have some sprinklers going, so hopefully we can get a pretty big crimson thorn to grow in and then start getting some mutations on it. I'm excited to see the price of this thing. I believe it's going to be worth a lot of money, so we should be good. All right, we are back, and yeah, we got some pretty big crimson thorns here, dude. These things are humongous. Now I don't even know which one is our biggest one. It's kind of hard to tell because of how big these are, but I think this gold one up here seems to be the biggest out of all of them. Oh wait, no, I think it's this one right here, this one at the bottom. Let me do a quick stud check here. This one has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and a half. And this one on the end here has 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, yeah, never mind. So I think this one's actually the biggest, the gold one up there. All right, well, okay. It looks like we have our picks. I'm going to go ahead and favorite this one real quick and then harvest the rest of them. All right, so now this one up here is ready to go and it's favorited, and that way we won't accidentally pick it up or anything. So we can go ahead and start getting some stuff done here. So I'm gonna go ahead, and we already actually have chocolate done on one of these sugar apples over here. So I'm actually gonna save the chocolate spray that I have, and here comes my kit soon, by the way, and it's going to apply which chocolate version. Okay, just regular chocolate, that's fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply pollinated, and we don't need to do chocolate because we already have it. So I will do a honey glazed sprinkler. Here it is, so we can get honey glazed on that. And then over here, my main account, I'm going to go ahead and apply some sprays here. And since we already have the shock mutation over there and tempestuous and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and only have to apply the cloud touch mutation, the glimmering mutation, and luminous. And there we go. This thing is looking nice. We have a couple mutations added to it already, and our Spinos will really take over in a little bit and move a lot of the stuff over. And we can go ahead and start using some of our guaranteed pets and getting those mutations done. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up all these mooncats, and let's go ahead and get down the list here. So So first off is our Raiju. Gonna go ahead and spawn him in so we can get the static mutation done and out of the way. I'm also gonna spawn in our lemon line for the brain rot mutation, the golden goose for the fortune mutation, corrupt kitsune for corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra, and the cockatrice for the toxic mutation. We're also gonna go ahead and spawn in our phoenix here for the flaming mutation. We can go ahead and spawn in the spriggan for the blue mutation. Let's do the swan, and then before we do the spriggan, let's actually bring out our new friend here, the Mizuchi, which we have a rainbow one from paying through the premium pass. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn this guy in, which can actually give us the new Azure mutation. This says when selling fruits with Azure, there's a 12% chance that a random mutation from that fruit will be applied to a fruit in your garden. So once we sell this, if we ever do, the one that we're about to get Azure on, we can possibly get it to duplicate onto something else. But that isn't really that great, considering that this thing already has a 24% chance to spread it anyways every 3 minutes. So we're fine as it is. I'm gonna go ahead though, and let's go ahead and place some more carrot seeds around here so our pets have an easier time to apply mutations and we have better chances to get everything done. And there we go. So we have our first set here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my toys in my inventory, and with that we can actually, I think we can boost this guy to even give him a better chance, and it shortens his cooldown a little bit, but that bumps us to 29%, so we should be able to get the new Azure mutation pretty quick. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and just get some more pets ready in my hotbar that are guaranteed mutations, or we consider guaranteed mutations. So I'm gonna get a spriggan in there. Let's get our kappas ready in our hotbar, and we can actually skip the disco beast today and go straight to the chicken zombies because we already have disco on quite a few of our fruits over here. So we can skip a lot of our pets today, and we're actually going to have even more mutations than we normally do, but this is going to be faster because of all those admin mutations that we have. So this crimson thorn will actually probably literally be the most mutated crimson thorn so far in Grow Garden, and it's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, hopefully this thing will be living up to people's expectations. I feel like we could have probably got that thing a little bit bigger than it is, but that's a good size, and we're gonna get a lot of mutations on it, so we should make some good money here.
Nope.
Wow, almost 30% chance, and it just failed. Our Mizuchi just failed the Azure mutation. Shame, shame. Also, I don't know exactly what event this is from. I'm sure I'll find out, or it's an admin event, but we do have this new glided or gilded mutation. I don't know what that's from. I'm gonna screenshot that though. That's new. I don't know. That might have been an admin one. All right, so lemon line is giving us brain rot now, which is on a sugar apple over there, so that's perfect. We can go ahead and pick him up. Swan will give us graceful now. All right, that was applied to one of our carrots. I don't know exactly which one because we have so many. Maybe one of these. Yeah, right here on this carrot. All right, so our swan is done. So we can go ahead and pick up our swan as well. And I think we could boost our phoenix. Yeah, that'll save a couple minutes there. We can go ahead and boost our Raiju, save a couple minutes, and then boost our golden goose and also save a couple minutes and get those guys out of the way. But now we do have some extra pet slots. So we're gonna go ahead and bring in our spriggan to give us bloom. And I guess we can actually go ahead and do our badger real quick to get the crack mutation out of the way, since this one's a little bit faster than the kappas and the chicken zombies. So let's go ahead and get the badger done. With the boost, he only takes about a minute and 40 seconds, so we'll get cracked done pretty quick. All right, we're about to get flaming done as well, and then we'll get static done shortly after that. All right, so our phoenix is going to give us flaming. There we go. A bunch of sugar apples have flaming now, and some carrots. Tons of sugar apples actually have. I'm gonna pick up that one carrot since we don't need it on that then. Phoenix is done. There we go. I boosted the cockatrice, so he'll be done with the Raiju in just a minute. Let's see if we get Azure now. No, not yet. All right, well, we'll just keep waiting for that. That's fine. All right, but we do have another pet slot open then, and we'll go ahead and spawn in our first kappa to give us bloodlet. Also, I don't know why I can't hear any of the pet sounds. Okay, I can hear the kappa, but no one else is making noise today. Everyone's just quiet. Everyone's being shy today. They're not telling me anything. I can hear all the other sounds besides the pet sounds. I don't know. I guess this update has come with some bugs. All right, so now our cockatrice here is going to give us the toxic mutation, and our Raiju is going to give us the static mutation. So that'll be another 2 mutations done. And once those guys are out of the way, we can spawn in another kappa and also get some chicken zombies going. Okay, we got cracked on a ton of stuff over here. So we are good and toxic. We got on some carrots and actually on, I think, our crimson thorn directly. I think it's that one up there. So I think we're good. We can go ahead and pick up our cockatrice. Since toxic is done, we can pick up our giant badger since cracked is obviously done on multiple plants. And our Raiju is now, okay, he ate something over here, but he did give us static. I don't know which one he ate. I thought I favorited all my shock fruits, but hopefully he didn't eat one that was important. Everything should have been favorited, so the one that he probably ate was one that I didn't really care about then, and I just missed, so that's fine. But there we go. We have a static carrot. We have plenty of static apples. We can go ahead ahead and pick up the Raiju as well. And we have 3 pet slots open, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another Kappa to give us Bloodlet done faster, and then get 2 chicken zombies in here to get zombified done soon. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw some more carrot seeds down, so our Kappas have an easier time giving us Bloodlet, and our Spriggan will give us an easier time for Bloom. Also, yeah, some of our pets that aren't making sounds are just bugged. Like this chicken zombie has no nose. This Corrupt Kitsune is missing ears. So I don't know if it's just a Roblox thing. The Spriggan's missing some branches. So like, yeah, the pets are very bugged right now. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's just a painful day for my pets. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fortune egg done. Now let's go ahead and boost this Mizuchi again. Hopefully we can get that mutation done, please. Still failed. That's actually crazy. It's about a 30% chance and this dude is just failing in life. That is sad. I don't know why you're being so sad today, but you know what? My golden goose never lets me down. Free fortune egg right here. Thanks, buddy. All right. Thanks for that fortune mutation. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up now and move this over here. All right. So yeah, we have a few more pets we gotta wait for here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for our Mizuchi to maybe give us a Zor, or, you know, our Corrupt Kitsune will probably be next. And then we have our Spriggans, Kappas, all that. I wanna make sure these guys are still boosted so we can get Bloodlet done a little bit faster, and that should be good. So I'll be back in a minute when we get some more mutations done. And I'm also, with that extra slot, gonna spawn in another chicken zombie so we can get zombified done fast and out of the way. All right, we did get the Azor mutation applied to this carrot just now, so that is done. Our new Mizuchi pet is done with its mutations, and our Kappa is watering some carrots. So as long as it can stick right here, we'll get Bloodlet done within the next minute. But we're gonna go ahead and pick up. Where is he? Here we go. Pick up this guy, boost the Corrupt Kitsune, get that done in a couple minutes, and then hopefully we'll also get Bloodlet done in a minute and a half. I guess I'll go ahead and move these pancakes over here just so the Kappas hover over here a little bit more and give us blood a little bit faster. All right, so I also just realized that I thought we didn't need our Peach Wasp because we had Abyssal, but I'm not thinking correctly. That's for when you get Void Touched with the Space Squirrel. So we actually need the Peach Wasp still for Plasma because that's completely different. So I'm going to actually spawn in our Peach Wasp because we do need to get that guaranteed mutation done. And in the meantime, though, our Corrupt Kitsune is about to apply Corrupt Chakra or Foxfire Corrupt Chakra so we can get that done. And once he's done with that, oh, you know what? I realized I was going to buy the Fall Fountain, but it's kind of too late for that, isn't it? Yeah, because I was gonna say I'm gonna buy that and then use that instead of the Grizzly Bears to get the Fall mutation, but I gotta still use Grizzly Bears because I didn't buy the Fountain in time. I should have done that, but anyways, it's fine. All right, so we have Corrupt Chakra applied to a Sugar Apple and some carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the carrots since it's done on the Sugar Apples. Actually, I think it's on one of these carrots. So pick up the Corrupt Kitsune, replace it with the Grizzly Bears so we can get Fall done because I'm dumb and I didn't buy the Fall Fountain like I should have. And yeah, then once these guys are done, we'll just stock up on chicken zombies and then get ready for our AFK grind since everyone else should be done with their mutations. Now, I don't know why Jandel did this, but it makes me sad that when you actually come in here now, you can no longer craft... Excuse me, hold on. But you can no longer craft the Shock Mutation Spray, the Glimmering Mutation Spray, and the Pollinated one. You can only do chocolate. I don't know if they moved it to the Mutation Spray Merchant. Maybe they did that. I have to actually look, but I'm sad that they did that because I was going to restock on those. But I guess that is why the Firefly is a thing now to get the Shock Mutation from this, since they decided to remove the sprays from the crafting. So yeah, we got 2 Fireflies though, so these guys will come in handy for when we need the Shocked, but yeah, kind of goofy they did that in my opinion. I'm so sorry, I keep yelling, I'm really tired. I gotta get this recorded, bro. It's 1:30 in the morning and I've hardly slept last night and I'm dying, but I gotta do the Crimson Thorn. We gotta see what the Crimson Thorn is worth, okay? So I'm dying for you guys. I hope you love me for that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'm gonna boost this Grizzly Bear with the pet toy again, but I'm also going to use, I have some small pet toys, so I think I can boost him with this as well. Yeah, so we have 2 pet toy boosts on him. That'll give him a 13% chance now. I will also boost the Spriggan, and I'll give us Bloom in a second, and boost another Kappa to give us Bloodlet done, hopefully in a minute here. All right, let's see if we get Fall, and let's see if we get Bloodlet. All right, Shay's coming over here. Good job. Please do not move over there. Please don't go back over there. All right, that failed. Shay, buddy. Come on, Bloodlet, please, somewhere. Okay, only wet. He only gave wet on 4 carrots. All right, so I just boosted my kappa here, and we got a bloodlet carrot, actually 2 of them. So we are good with bloodlet and our kappas. I can go ahead and move this over here. Spriggan is also done. As you can see, he just farted all over the place and gave us the blue mutation on a bunch of stuff, including our sugar apples. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of some of these carrots, but there we go. That gives us some more pet slots. So picking up the Spriggan, picking up the kappas, and our chicken zombies should be done shortly. And hopefully we get fall done soon too, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these wet carrots just to get some of these out of the way, clean up the mutations a little bit because we have so many that the Spinos already have to move over, so let's make their job a little bit easier. Okay, I think these are all good over here. Yeah, our kappas didn't really come over here. All right, and I guess we'll go ahead and start with our gnome now to get gnome done, and we can go ahead and put our lobster in to get Bolton done since we already have meteoric. Now save a little bit of time in the long haul so we can get Spinos to start moving stuff over, and we'll go ahead and put one more grizzly bear in to get fall done a little bit faster, and that should help. Now we have some chicken zombies almost done here, and I think I can boost them with toys, and they'll be in the time limit here. So there we go, they're boosted. I guess I can boost this one with a small toy, and there we go. Let's see if we get zombified done. There we go, zombified's done to a sugar apple. That's good. So we can go and pick up these chicken zombies, and now we just gotta wait for plasma, hopefully get fall, and we really don't need to wait for a gnome to get done or molten. These guys are technically just our AFK pets, but we can wait if we want. But since we're gonna wait to get plasma done anyways in fall, I'll wait, and once we get plasma and fall at least done, then we'll put in the rest of our AFK pets. But we should be good for now. I guess for now, since we gotta wait anyways for these guys, I'll start throwing in some more of our AFK pets. I'll put our griffin in, I'll get our spaghetti sauce in to start getting those done, and we can go ahead and put in, I guess, our Crepe Scarlet, and then we can do our Tranquil in just a little bit. And we go ahead and get some toys ready to boost our grizzly bears again to hopefully give us fall and get that out of the way. Please give us fall. Please give us fall. There we go. We got fall on a carry. Just got to do a little chant. All right. So grizzly bear number 1 is done. Grizzly bear number 2 is done. And we are good. So I'm going to go ahead and travel this carrot over here into our collection. We can go ahead and spawn in our Tranquil Scarlet. And we are technically ready for our AFK setup. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just wait to fully AFK until we get plasma done, since this is only going to take another 14 minutes. But for now, we do have that extra pet slot. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in our first Mega Spinosaurus here to start moving over mutations to our Crimson Thorn up there that is still favorited, so we can't eat anything off of that. But yeah, we have a lot of mutations that these guys have to eat off of our sugar apples, off of our carrots, so we got to get started getting these things moved over. All right, so our peach wasp just applied the plasma mutation to a carrot over here. For some reason I thought it was just going to sting again, but it was doing its mutation, so that's nice for us, and plasma is done. So with that, we can go ahead and pick up our peach wasp, and now all of our guaranteed pets are done, and we're pretty much ready to just go in AFK mode. So I'm gonna throw in another Mega Spino in there, and pretty much now we are just going to wait for more mutations to get done from our other pets, and once more mutations get done, we'll place some more Spinos, Mimic Octopuses, all that, so that way we can get everything to just move mutations over and get it to this Crimson Thorn so we can check the price and hopefully be rich. But in the meantime, I'm going to just go ahead and real quick just wait and see if we can get Cyclonic done, because if we can, then we can go AFK with another Spino in the mix, and that will actually help save some more time because we have a lot of mutations that we need to get moved over today. So it's probably already going to take an hour or two for them all to get moved over. So the more Spinos that we have, the faster that will be. So yeah, let's just see if we get Cyclonic real quick before AFK. What are we going to get? We're also going to get one of our spaghetti sauce mutations done, even though that's like always going to happen. But what do you got for us, Griffin? Cyclonic anywhere? Does not look like we got it anywhere. All right, well, we'll wait for that then. It was worth a shot. Spaghetti Sauce is giving us one of his mutations, so we got pasta done. All right, cool. Thanks for pasta, buddy. All right, well, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and AFK then and let our pets work their magic as we AFK. I guess I'll boost my gnome again and maybe get that one done. All right, so just a quick check-in. We got a lot of the mutations done here. We got gnomed done on one of these carrots over here. And then in the mix, we also got corrupt and tranquil done on some of these apples up here. So we moved those guys out of the way, and we also got cyclonic done. So pretty much at this point, we're only waiting for our spaghetti sloth because I still have not seen aromatic and I have not seen sauce. I even looked up here, and that guy up there that's favorited with all the mutations, I did not see aromatic or sauce, so we're still waiting for our spaghetti sauce to give us those two. But we do have 4 Spinosauruses put down now, and that's our max. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and put a Mimic Octopus down. His head's kind of gone, but I'm going to go ahead and put this guy down and a Queen Bee, and this should help with some cooldowns so we can get the rest of these mutations done a little bit faster, or at least moved over a little bit faster. All right, so we have gotten all of our mutations bamboos moved over to the Crimson Thorn, and this took a while, bro. It's like 6 a.m. I need to get some sleep, okay? So we're gonna go through this real quick, but as you can see, we probably have the most mutated Crimson Thorn so far in Roblox Grow a Garden. However, the only problem I've noticed is that the Rainbow Mutation did not get moved over from the Spinosauruses. For some reason, Gold did, but not Rainbow, and Rainbow should have upgraded the Gold, but it didn't. So we're gonna have a little bit less of a multiplier than we normally do, which is very unfortunate. I really wanted the Rainbow for this, but I don't know why that happened. Anyways, in total, we have 48 mutations, and then if we actually separate some, like Cosmic would have 49. Spaghetti would bring us to about 51. Harmonized Chakra, 52. Storm Charge would bring us to about, I believe, 54. I want to say maybe 55 actually, but I'll say 54. Ceramic would bring us to about 56. Frozen, 57. Infernal would bring us to about 60. Paradisal would be 61. Gloom, 62. Abyssal, 63. And that's about it. So yeah, this thing has about 63 total mutations on this Crimson Thorn, which is actually insane. And it's pretty big. Again, the only thing we didn't get is Rainbow for some reason, not converting the Gold to Rainbow from the Spinos. But I guess once you have one, it can't get anything else on it. And we got Gold first, which is unfortunate for us. But let's go ahead though and use our magnifying glass to check the value of this Crimson Thorn and see how much this thing is going to be worth as one of the, actually as the best fruit in Roblox Grow a Garden now. So without further ado, we're going to check in 3, 2, 1. This thing is worth only 953 billion. However, I believe if we actually got Rainbow instead of Gold, that would have been enough multiplier to make this thing a couple of trillions. Plus, if we got a bigger size, I think this thing probably would have been at least 5+ trillion. But I think that Gold not actually converting is what really messed this up to not even hit 1 trillion, which is insane because we still had like 60 other mutations on this thing. We're going to go ahead and try to get Amber on it real quick by using our Raptors. So this will be the last test to see if we can add any more value to this thing. All right, let's see if we get Amber by... I just fell off of it. Okay, well, I gotta... Actually, I can use the harvest tool. So let's see if we can get Amber by harvesting this Crimson Thorn. All right, we did not get Amber. However, here's our Crimson Thorn with all the mutations. It, for some reason, shrank into this tiny size. And maybe if we check with Steven, let's see if the value changed at all. Nope, still the same amount. So yeah, 953 billion. I'm surprised we didn't even pass 1 trillion with this many mutations on this thing. And it's supposed to be the best fruit in the game now. So I'm actually surprised that we didn't even hit 1 trillion. But I guess the Rainbow Mutation really does help. And I guess the size of this wasn't as big as it could have been. I'm going to spawn in a Triceratops, as this guy helps our plants grow. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do here is wait for the Triceratops cooldown to be really low. And once it starts getting lower, I'm going to go ahead and plant all of my sprinklers down and then plant a bunch of bamboo seeds. That way we can see if this guy will actually take effect and hit bamboo. All right, so my mooncats are about to do their thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some bamboo seeds down really quick. Just plant a ton of them, like right in the spot, just to see if any of our mooncats will hit. We're going to go ahead and put the master sprinkler down. Godly sprinkler, advanced sprinkler, and a basic sprinkler. Our mooncats here are sleeping. The Triceratops is... Are you kidding me, dude? He's stuck. He literally just gave up. Okay, well, all right, here we go. We got a pretty big bamboo here. This should be our one that we're gonna go with. Let's go ahead and move it over to the sprinklers. And I guess I'll go ahead and get rid of these other pieces here. All right, yeah, this one looks pretty good. So I think we're good. The Triceratops didn't really help because these things grow so fast. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these cats. Let's go ahead and add some mutations on this thing so we can go ahead and get this thing to turn rainbow. So I'm gonna spray it with chocolate. Okay, so we sprayed it with chocolate. A Tranquil event just spawned in. So we have Tranquil now. That's 2 mutations. I'm gonna save these sprays. We'll do Pollinated. We'll do Shocked, and then we'll also do Honey Sprinkler for Honey Glaze. There we go. That's 5 mutations added onto our bamboo, and now we're gonna get this thing rainbow. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is spawn in one of our queen bees here, and spawn in a butterfly. Since the queen bee's cooldown is about 6-7 minutes shorter than the butterflies, the queen bee will cool down the butterfly faster, and then the butterfly will take all 5 of these mutations, convert it to rainbow. I'm also going to spawn in a queen bee on my main account, and then we're going to spawn in our Kitsune, so that way we can get the chakra mutation to be applied to our bamboo. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do actually is I'm going to plant a couple carrots down. So that way one of these should get tranquil on it. And once we get a tranquil carrot, that way we can keep that and then we can use our T-Rex or our Spinosaurus to actually eat it and then move that over to our bamboo. The only reason I'm doing that is because in the next hour, we're gonna have a corrupt event and we're gonna have to wait like another 2 hours for another tranquil event since these swap every 3 hours or so. So we're gonna make sure we get a carrot set with tranquil on it, so then it'll be easier to move that over to our bamboo once we have rainbow on it. Because once we have rainbow, that tranquil is going to be gone, and we do need 5 mutations to get rainbow. All right, the magic is going to happen now. Our queen bee's cooldown is about done, and she will now cool down our butterfly since our butterfly has the longest cooldown. All right, there we go. Butterfly's cooldown will be ready now, and now the butterfly will take these mutations and convert it to rainbow. And there we go. Now our bamboo is officially rainbow. So we go ahead and favorite that so we don't pick it up. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up our butterfly and our queen bee. Our Spinosaurus in just a minute should come over here and eat these mutations off the carrot and then move them to the bamboo. Hopefully it will just focus on tranquil so we can move it to our rainbow bamboo here. And then we're going to go ahead and apply pollinated back onto this guy. And we do have a wet spray, so I'm going to apply this. Even though our kappas would normally apply it, I'm going to apply it to our bamboo to hopefully speed up the process to get this thing bloodlit because the kappas convert wet into bloodlit. So we're going to go ahead and just apply that. Oh, and here comes our kitsune. It should hopefully target... Okay, good. It's targeting the bamboo. I thought it might target the carrot for a second. But there we go. Our bamboo is now chakra as well. And we have wet, which we're going to try to convert that wet to bloodlit. We're going to add shocked onto this. We're going to add chocolate onto that. We're going to add a honey sprinkler back down here so we can get that back to honey glazed. And that gives us 7 mutations currently. Then our main account is going to add the cloud touch spray. So I'm going to go ahead and spray from back over there. And then I'm also going to actually add the verdant spray onto this today, just because that way we don't have to use our scarlets at all. That will save some time. We're now up to 9 mutations already. And with that, we're going to go ahead and spawn in some of our other pets to start doing some stuff for us here. So we're going to spawn in 2 disco bees to get that disco mutation applied. We'll spawn in 2 cooked owls to get cooked or burnt applied. Actually, you know what? We're going to take one of these cooked owls for now, and then we're going to spawn in 1 chicken zombie, but we have some other pets we want to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a pterodactyl. So this guy will either give us windstruck or he'll give us windstruck and twisted. Hopefully he gives us windstruck and twisted so we can get tempestuous so we don't have to wait for a tornado to show up. So we're going to spawn him in. We're going to go ahead and spawn in 2 kappas so we can try to get this wet to convert to bloodlit. And that is max pet slots for now. So we should be good. All right, so I just got back. Let me just take a quick look at what happened when I was gone. The only thing that's really happened is our pterodactyl applied windstruck onto our bamboo, but we did not get tempestuous. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl for the moment. I think what I'm gonna do next is I will spawn in a Raju here, and this guy can give us the shock mutation, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this carrot seed down like right here, and then I'm going to apply the shocked spray to it. So that way this Raiju will take the shocked carrot, eat it, and then it will turn it into static and then apply static to our bamboo. Okay, our cooked owl just applied burnt to the carrot. So I guess we'll see if our Spinosaurus converts that over to our bamboo as well. So now we have burnt and tranquil over there. But otherwise, we'll just leave our cooked owl out for now to hopefully increase our chances of getting burnt put onto our bamboo. Disco be applied, disco to carrot. So this carrot is literally getting more mutations over here, basically, than our bamboo. All right, our Raiju here should go ahead and eat this shocked carrot over here and then apply it to our bamboo. I'm gonna go ahead and move this closer just so it's easier for him. All right, there we go. Carrot is getting yoinked. And now we have static applied to this carrot, but also to our bamboo here. So now we have static on the bamboo, which is another mutation down. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our Raiju here, and I'm gonna replace him with a corrupted kitsune. That way we can get corrupted chakra or corrupted foxfire chakra applied to our bamboo. And then we can also get our chakra that's on it converted to harmonized chakra. All right, I'm actually gonna go ahead and swap up the strat here a little bit to save some time in the long run. So I know I said I'm going to keep my disco bees around and this cooked owl to just try and apply burnt and disco to my bamboo. But again, since we already got it on this carrot, we might as well just stack up on our Spinosauruses and our T-Rexes. So that way they can eat all of these mutations and just move them over to our bamboo. We have 2 Spinosauruses, and if we get 2 T-Rexes, then that means within 20 minutes we can move 4 of these over. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these disco bees and just get them out of the way, and this cooked owl, and then we're gonna spawn in 2 T-Rexes here, so that way our Spinosauruses and our T-Rexes will work together to eat from this fruit and apply these mutations to our favorited fruit here, the bamboo. And then with that extra pet slot we have, we're gonna just spawn in another chicken zombie to try and speed up the process to getting zombified. Oh, what the heck? It's Tranquility again? There's Tranquility 2 times in a row already, so I thought we were going to get Corrupt for sure. And which means that this is guaranteed now to get Tranquil. All right, our T-Rexes are both about to be done with their cooldowns. Hopefully they just eat Burnt and Disco so we can get that moved over to our bamboo. Otherwise, we'd have to wait for the next round of our Spinosauruses to eat those. These will at least knock out 2 of them, so let's see which ones they eat from the carrot. Please be the 2 that we need. Okay. Looks like they ate Burnt, and then they try to eat Static or something, but for some reason Static is still on it. But they did eat Burnt, so Burnt is good and out of the way. So yeah, I guess we still have to wait for our Spinosauruses to eat the rest of them. But yeah, we just need at least Disco. Okay, perfect. Our chicken zombie just applied zombified to our bamboo, which is another mutation done and out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the chicken zombies here, get those guys out of the way, and then we could get all these Spinosauruses and T-Rexes out of the way once they eat Disco. But since we have 2 extra slots here, what I'm gonna try to go ahead and do is spawn in that pterodactyl again. So that way we can try to get this guy to apply Tempestuous to our carrot so we don't need to wait for tornadoes, and then these guys can move Tempestuous over to the bamboo. So we'll try and do that. We'll see if he is successful with that. And then since the Kappa always takes forever to apply Bloodlet and it's usually hit or miss, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 1 Tanuki. Now this guy has a chance to actually freeze over our bamboo and then turn the bamboo to frozen, which would then ruin our chance to get Bloodlet from the Kappa turning wet to Bloodlet. But at this rate, I'm just gonna say let the best man win, either the Tanuki or the Kappa, to get this thing to frozen or Bloodlet. The Tanuki will also help us get Moonlit as well applied to our bamboo. Okay, our Spinosaurus ate the Disco from our carrot and applied it to the bamboo. So now we have Disco on our bamboo and we're good to go with that one. So we're gonna wait for the pterodactyl to see if it actually applies Twisted. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this carrot. I'm gonna plant another one. So I'm gonna plant this one here. We'll see if the pterodactyl is able to apply Windstruck and Twisted onto this, and then we'll let these guys convert that over in just a little bit. And then I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in my other Kappa again to try and get this thing Bloodlit. We will spawn in our other Tanuki to try to get this thing Moonlit. And then just in case we don't get a Corrupted event, I guess I'll spawn in my Corrupted Scarlet Macaw so we can try to get Corrupted added to this bamboo as well. Oh, and wow, actually the Tanuki was really quick today and just got us Moonlit done, so we can actually get rid of these guys. So thank you, Tanuki, for that. All right, our pterodactyl just striked, and it looks like it did get one of our carrots tempestuous. So we can go ahead and pick up these carrots, and then we'll move this tempestuous carrot over here. But actually, I'm gonna move it like over here, so our Spinosaurus just kind of hover the middle. And once they are ready with their cooldowns, they're gonna go ahead and eat that mutation off the carrot, and then move it over to our bamboo. So our bamboo will be tempestuous, and we don't need to wait for a tornado. All right, so we have a bunch of pets that are about to be done with their cooldowns here. So our Scarlet, well, is probably going to try to apply Verdant to this carrot. Let's see. Oh, actually, he was trying to apply Corrupt, but he failed. Okay, and then our Spinosauruses are about done with their cooldown, so they should move this Tempestuous over to our bamboo. And we also have our Corrupted Kitsune that will hopefully this time apply Corrupted Chakra to our bamboo. So he's coming back over here. Let's see. Hopefully his 20% chance works right now. Please. Okay, well, he put it onto this carrot again. I'm just going to let the Spinosauruses move that over. All right, so Spinosaurus number 1 ate Tempestuous, and now that is added to our bamboo. And Spinosaurus number 2 should go ahead and eat that Corrupt Chakra. All right, there we go. and then that's applied, and that gives us Tempestuous onto our bamboo and also Harmonized Chakra. So those are some more mutations done. So I'm gonna go ahead now and pick up these T-Rexes and Spinosauruses. I kind of went all out and put them all back down just so we wouldn't miss any mutations, but we don't need them now. We don't need this corrupted Kitsune anymore. We pretty much only need these Kappas to still try and convert wet to bloodlet, so we'll see if they even do that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in, I guess, that corrupted Scarlet back in, just in case we don't get a corrupted event, to try and apply corrupted to our bamboo. Okay, well, I guess I missed it, but at some point, our corrupted Scarlet here actually applied the corrupt mutation onto our bamboo. We did not get a corrupt event, we just got another tranquil event. So I guess just a second ago, he applied corrupt. So that is good and out of the way. We're still waiting for these Kappas to see if they'll convert wet over to bloodlet. However, we do have a frost event going on right now, which possibly can turn wet into frozen. But at this rate, if it does, I mean, GG. Like, these guys have been here for like 2 or 3 hours now, just making their weird noises, and they have not yet converted wet to bloodlet. All right, so the Kappas, after like 3 hours, have not gotten us bloodlet. So I don't know if they can give you bloodlet if you already have moonlit on your plant, or if the chances are just very low. So let me know in the comments if you guys know if they won't give you bloodlet if you already have moonlit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use these polar bears to try and get that wet to convert to frozen. Let's see if any of them actually succeed at this. Okay, one of them succeeded, so now that wet is turned into frozen. And really the only mutations we would need left, Sandy, which would be ceramic, we're missing Aurora, Celestial, and then I want to turn Verdant into Paradisal. So I guess that's like 4 legit mutations left, but I don't think we're gonna have any luck getting a Celestial event anytime soon, so we can count that out of the picture. Auroras are very rare as well, so I think we can count that one out as well. I have a really hard time getting Sandy, so the last one really just be trying to get this thing to Paradisal, but we do have Verdant already applied to it. So to be honest, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just check the value of this thing with Steven, and I know if we had Paradisal, the amount would be a little bit higher, but it should be pretty close because we do have a total of 17 mutations on our bamboo. And if you spread out stuff like Tempestuous, we would have 18. If you spread out Harmonized Chakra, we would have 19. And overall, we do have a lot of good mutations here. So I think I am going to go ahead and just try and check the value of this and see how much we would get for this bamboo with 17 mutations. So I'm going to go ahead and just unfavorite it. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up, and I will keep that favorited in my inventory. But yeah, let's check with Steven how much this giant piece of bamboo with 17 mutations on it is worth. Without further ado, let's go ahead and ask Steven what the value of our bamboo is. 987 million, almost 1 billion, which I was actually hoping we would get in the billions. But I think if we just waited and we got a heatwave event and turned that Verdant into Paradisal, this thing would have easily hit the 1 billion mark. Plus, if we got the other legit mutations on it, like Celestial, Aurora, and Ceramic, this thing would have definitely passed the 1 billion mark, but I don't know if it would have hit 2 billion. I know it would have just at least been past 1 billion by a little bit, which is pretty good. But let me know what you guys think. Was this bamboo worth all the mutations on it? Let me know down in the comments below. And also make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe for bonus points, and I'll see you guys in the next one.